I make it 25 pal. We really don't have very long, Chris, so we'll keep it brief.
Ball played forward from Stephen Trench into the penalty area, chested down by Danny Hall, picked up here by Adam Boyes towards the left-hand side of the penalty area, gets it back in. Liam Dickinson! Oh, Nicky Bottle! He has put the ball in on the edge of the 6-yard box. Has Nicky Bottle turned this game round and perhaps possibly sent Guiseley through to the Vanarama Conference?
Good evening and welcome to Nethermoor Park, where tonight the Lions face another former Football League club with aspirations of a return to League 2, this time in the form of Wrexham. Now, when these two teams met last year, it ended with 6 goals, a late equaliser and a red card as the teams shared the spoils in a thrilling midweek 3-3 draw. The Lions are currently without a win at Nethermoor in this calendar year, but performances have markedly improved in recent weeks, failing only in the last 10 minutes to the league leaders Cheltenham Town on Saturday. Wrexham, on the other hand, are 6 points off the playoff places tonight and will be looking for 4 wins from 4 to kickstart a boost for the playoff spots. Can the Lions maul their opponents tonight, or will the Dragons have too much firepower? We'll have full match coverage from myself and Chris Bell, build up from Tom Feeney, interviews from Ryan Tulson and Mark, tweet us at Guiseley Radio. This is Nethermoor, this is Guiseley Radio.
Norburn goes for goal. Oliver Norburn! What a hit! All of 35 yards out. He had the sighter earlier. That is an absolutely stunning strike.
Good evening and welcome to, I think, what is the final Tuesday game of the season for the Lions. It is at home. It is Wrexham are the visitors. They should have been here at the beginning of March, but what with one thing and another, they are here tonight. It is quite a brisk evening, but the pitch is looking in pretty decent condition considering. And we have prestigious visitors this evening and a big job ahead for the Lions. I'm joined this evening initially by Chris Bell. Chris, how are you feeling about tonight?
I've done very little at work today, mainly through a lack of concentration and nerves and tension and frankly downright worry.
Don't pretend you do anything at work anyway, Chris.
Well,
don't give us that.
This has been a great excuse to do even less than usual. But it's tense, it's nervous. It's that time of the season where every result counts.
It is
for every side in the league.
It is very much squeaky bum time. Of course, we're not just keeping an eye here, although obviously our main focus will be here. There are other games tonight that will particularly impact on Guiseley's season. Kidderminster are hosting Halifax Town, and Altrincham have made the long journey down to the south coast to play Torquay. We'll be keeping across those two games as well. We've got the team news in, and it is a slight change from Saturday. Steve Drench continues in goal, Ryan Tulson, Ben Parker, Danny Lowe, Jake Lawler, Adam Boyes comes in for the injured Emil Sinclair, Will Hatfield, Ollie Johnson starts out on the right, James Hurst has a tweaked groin, we understand. Rob Atkinson is centre back, Anthony Dudley starts on the left ahead of Gavin Rothery, and Oliver Norburn continues in midfield. On the bench, Tom Craddock, Gavin Rothery, Dan Atkinson, Nicky Bottle and Adam Smith. Chris, is it do or die for the Lions tonight?
Not quite, but we're not far short of that stage, I don't think, are we? I mean, you know, a lot is going to depend on those other games. You know, the Halifax travelling to Kidderminster and, of course, Altrincham travelling down to Torquay. This is a game that, out of those 3 fixtures, this is the one where you'd think, yeah, guys are going to lose this, and the other side's going to overtake them. We need to somehow dig deep. This is a side that we can get at when we scored 3 at their place. However, that was a long, long time ago, and Wrexham now, Gary Mills has come out recently and said that basically they've got 4 cup finals from there to get into the playoffs. We've got 4 cup finals to save our season to stay in this league.
Well, 4 cup finals is a cliche, but it's a cliche not without truth. And at the end of the game against Cheltenham on Saturday, we spoke to Ryan Tulson and got his opinions on that particular game.
Tom Feeney with Ryan Tulson after the 2-0 loss against Cheltenham Town. Ryan, how do you sum that one up? Because obviously probably lost to the team that are going to be promoted in a few weeks.
Frustrating. We've definitely matched them for 70 minutes. We've played some good football. We had a good shape about us, and they didn't really break us down. We had a couple of chances ourselves. So it's just really frustrating to come away with nothing. A point there against a good side, don't get me wrong, the top of the league for a reason. They do what they do well, and they pick up points away like that. So we need to regroup. We need to regroup quickly before Tuesday. We need to go again.
I was going to say, obviously, in the 80th minute, it's 0-0. Them 2 goals, a bit of a killer blow for today's game. Yeah,
definitely. It's just one of those. We need to be stronger in the box. We need to defend better. It's a free kick, and really, the bench is saying it's not a free kick, but we've got to defend better. Simple as that. We've got to start picking up on set pieces. It's what's let us down recently and cost us goals and points.
And I know, not being able to score today as well, because guys, they got into decent positions a couple of times, just not able to get that clinical blow. Yeah,
we need to. It's one of those, like you say, we've played well, we've had a lot of possession, but we've got to finish it off. We've got to create that chance and be clinical, if it means a set piece like they've done to us. So we know we've got to work on things, but we've got to dust ourselves down, and we've definitely got to go again Tuesday night. Tuesday is massive for us. We're going for 3 points, and that's exactly what we need.
And I suppose you feel a bit better when you're looking at what other teams have done round us, because the results have gone Guiseley's way today.
Yeah, they have, but we need to concentrate on ourselves. We know that if we pick up points, we'll be safe ourselves. We don't want to rely on others. You never know how it's going to go, so we need to make sure that we're right, and we need to pick up points.
And obviously Wrexham, it's going to be a tough game. They're another team who were up the higher end of the table, but we're just going to have to give it our all, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. We need to play like we have done today. We've given Cheltenham a game for, like you say, 80 minutes. They're going to go on and get promoted, so we need to make sure that we're consistent, and we put two performances back to back. We've been 2 up and down this season, and that's why we find ourselves where we are. So we need to do what we did for 80 minutes for 90 on Tuesday and make sure we pick up 3 points.
Ryan Toulson there after the 2-0 defeat against Cheltenham Town on Saturday. Chris, he doesn't sound very happy about that.
Absolutely not. I think there was a lot of disappointment actually when people were leaving Nethermore that we didn't get something. Now, you're not going to say that very often at all, are you, against a side that is top of the league and is going to be the champions?
It was actually a pretty creditable performance by the Lions.
It was, wasn't it, for 80 minutes, and it was just that last 10 minutes that their class and their quality and their pace got the better of us.
Looking at the Vanarama National League table before tonight's games, the good news is most of the teams don't have a game in hand. Only Halifax at the moment are a game behind us. Guiseley currently sit in 19th place with 43 points, ahead of Halifax on goal difference, but they've only played 41 games.
Halifax's game in hand, though, Eastleigh.
So, well, home or away?
I believe away. Don't quote
Depends
me
on the pitch. Depends what the pitch is like. Boreham Wood in 21st place are on 41 points. They've played a game more than Guiseley at this point, and Altrincham have got 41 points and played 42. Welling are still not out of it quite, 35 points and 43 games played, but time is running out for them. And also tonight, the first team could be relegated if they lose to Halifax tonight. Kidderminster on 42 and 32 points.
We really need to hope that Kidderminster prolong that as long as possible.
Come on, Kiddy, one last hurrah for you.
To be fair to Kidderminster, they were trailing 1-0 away at Welling on Saturday, and then scored in the 82nd and 86th to turn it on its head.
But you know what? Never mind all this, Chris, because it doesn't matter what the other teams do. At the moment, as it stands, the good thing about that table, still in Guiseley's hands.
Yeah.
It's still there. We are 11 league games without a win now, and we are still without a home win this calendar year. Last time, that 2-0 win against Bromley. What wouldn't you give for a 35-yard screamer from Oliver Norburn again tonight?
I'll give a left, my right leg.
Right, I'm so glad you said leg.
I think Ollie Norburn could probably score without his right leg, to be honest. He's that good when it gets to that kind of range.
I'd give it a go, wouldn't it? Well, we're joined this evening by more than just us two. We also have regular Guiseley Radio contributor Nick Keefe with us. Nick, how are you feeling about tonight?
I think nervous, isn't everybody?
Very much so. Very much so. But there's positives, isn't there, Nick? Reason to be cheerful. Come on.
Well, there's options on the team and on the bench. I mean, I'm a bit sad about James Hurst's knock and him being out tonight, but perfect moment for Adam Smith to be fit. Apparently, he was fit on Saturday and wasn't selected. But if you wanted the script, and he had a short stay at Wrexham earlier this season, the star moment of which was the 70 minutes he tore into us when we went to the old racing ground over there. That wouldn't be a bad night for him to put in a blinder, would it?
Well, it wouldn't be. And also Ollie Johnson gets his second start of the season.
Yeah, and that could be huge. The question with him and Smith is how long will they play into the game. It's a brave selection by Mark. He's trying to go aggressive out of the gate and see if he can get into the game early on rather than save his wild cards for later. But potentially with Smith and Johnson, you've got two players who are around the 65-minute plus mark, might be tiring, and we hope at that point in the game we're in a strong enough position that we can afford to make the necessary changes. Sorry, that was pessimism, wasn't it? That wasn't optimism.
Nick, it's your stock in trade, and we wouldn't expect anything else from you. Well, no, I think there is cause for optimism. I think the last few performances certainly have proved that we can compete with these big teams. Certainly looking at the way they performed against Cheltenham, the way they should have beaten Chester. There's been some decent performances over the last few weeks, so it's not all that bad, is it, Nick?
No, I mean, we played fantastically well to the tactics that we had planned on Saturday. It was a tactic of containment, but we did defend really well and were very well organised. Players were brave in possession. They looked comfortable on the ball, particularly people like Will Hartfield and Ollie Norburn, who both start tonight. And unlike Adam Smith, who I'm just aware I've talked complete nonsense about, who isn't starting at all, so thanks for being polite to me on that. Thinking we can't be starting with three strikers and wingers as well. I
don't know, whatever works, Nick, whatever works.
It's fine, no one's listening.
If we can sneak 3 points by playing 14 men tonight, I'd take that.
And the game in Wales was one of the games this season where I thought we were unlucky not to have snuck 3 points on. There are so many of those as we get towards the end of the season where we go nearly. They were nearly games where we could have got another point or we could have got an extra 2. Maybe we've got something a little bit saved over, a bit of good luck saved over from that night where we might just do something. I don't know.
We have been threatening all season to break out into a really, really good football team and that takes points off the big boys. We've been threatening. We still have the second best record against the top 6 of the bottom 6. So there is still hope.
And that's great. And then the form book says we're second bottom in the last 10 games. So there's two sides, aren't there?
I'm trying to bring optimism back to Guiseley Radio.
How can you not feel optimistic with Dudley, Johnson and Boys starting up front?
There's goals in
Hatfield
all of those.
And Norburn playing in midfield together. It's hard not to feel a little bit optimistic, isn't it?
Well, I certainly feel optimistic, and I hope by the end of tonight you're feeling optimistic as well, Nick. Another man who's hopefully feeling optimistic tonight is the Guiseley manager Mark Bauer, and again we spoke to him after the game at Cheltenham.
Yeah, I can't ask for any more from the players in terms of their effort and the commitment and everything really. I thought they worked the socks off and when we had the ball, worked the ball quite well and struggled to create any real clear-cut chances against them. We obviously tried to make sure we were solid defensively and looked to hit them on the break. The one criticism, for the first 80 minutes was that when we did break on them, just that little bit of extra quality that we had a couple of opportunities to pick the right pass and create chances and just didn't quite pick that. But still looked solid up until the sort of scramble they had in front of goal 15 minutes before the end. They had next to nothing in terms of chances. And then, as so often happens when a rather dodgy free kick given against us. This referee has cost us at Halifax earlier in the season with a handball that never was, led to them scoring a goal. Missed a blatant handball at Barrow earlier in the season, which led to them scoring a goal. And he's made it 3 in a row because today I don't think it's a foul. The lad just squeals as Ursi tries to block the cross. And he gives him a free kick, but then we've got to pick up better in the box. It's a free header that the lad's got, and players are given responsibilities to mark players, and it's not being done. And if you don't do that, no matter how well you do or how poorly you play, if you don't defend your box properly in those situations, sooner or later the ball end up in the net. And the one free header that they did get under no pressure, the lads buried it, and we get caught on the counter a little bit with the second one, but. The lads have given everything. I thought there were a lot of good in the performance today. Obviously, we're going into the last 4 games now. We've got to take that performance or a lot of it forward, but look to try and get some goals. And Tuesday night now turns into another massive game for us.
Yeah, and as every game has such a high importance, it's
important to have as many players available to us as possible. And Emile Sinclair going off with what looked like a hamstring problem.
Yeah, pulled his hamstring. Was such a, the way he plays and the pace he got was such a big part of the way we wanted to play today. And then, to lose him so soon in the game just makes it really, really difficult. And I thought Boise came on and did well for us, but just didn't have that electric pace that we were looking for from Emile. But after that we looked comfortable, and the top of the league for a reason. They're a good side. They defend really well, and they score loads of goals. And just unfortunately we couldn't hold out for that bit longer, and we just couldn't take those opportunities on the counter attack in good positions to make that final pass or that final cross count. And top teams punish you, and without playing particularly well them today, they've come and got the 3 points, and I suppose that's what champions are all about.
And again, Tuesday night, it's another team up pressing, and Wrexham. It's going to be a huge challenge again for us.
Yeah, I mean, Wrexham beat Cheltenham last week. Obviously a very good side. I don't know how they've gone on today, but they are, looking for results to get into the playoffs. Big test, good atmosphere again, but the lads have got to stand up and be counted. I thought they did that today. Got to go again and look to win the game, because results have gone for us. We've still got that 2 point cushion outside the bottom four, but we can't keep relying on that. But a lot of what we're doing, has been good over the past couple of months. It's just turning those little fine margins, those little small percentages, and maybe their fitness told maybe towards the end, second half. We've got a few injuries. No Danny Hall, Adam Lockwood injured. We're limited defensively, and change it and just freshen it up in areas that maybe would have helped defensively. We weren't really able to do that. So yeah, look to Tuesday. Lads have got to go again. It's a difficult one to take again, because it's a couple of late goals that have done us, but we've got to look to go and start really well on Tuesday. No reason why we can't win the game on Tuesday night, and that's got to be the attitude we take into it.
We go again, the words from Mark Bauer after the defeat at the hands of Cheltenham. Look, the teams are out on the pitch here at Nethermore. There's a pretty decent turnout. There's a lot of Wrexham fans gathered behind the goal at the railway end. We are ready to go. It's Lions versus Dragons tonight, with commentary from myself, but first, Chris Bell.
Thank you very much, Dave. Welcome everybody to Nethermore Park for this Panorama National League game between Guiseley and Wrexham. We'll go through the two team lineups for you now. For Guiseley, Stephen Drench starts in goal, then Ryan Toulson, Ben Parker, Danny Lowe, Jake Lawler, Adam Boyes, Will Hatfield, Ollie Johnson, Rob Atkinson, Anthony Dudley and Oliver Norburn. And for Wrexham, Reece Taylor, Javan Vidal, Sean Newton, Emmanuel Smith, Blaine Hudson, Jamal Fifield, Connor Jennings, their captain, Mark Carrington, Caden Jackson, Rob Evans and Simon Heslop make up the Wrexham starting 11. It'll be Guiseley shooting from right to left in this first half in their home kits, white shirts, navy shorts and navy socks. Wrexham in their home kit as well, shooting towards the bowling club end, red shirts, white shorts and red socks. And it's Guiseley who get us underway. The ball into the feet of Anthony Dudley. Now Hatfield looks to get involved early on, look for a free kick. The referee wasn't giving it, and that gives Wrexham their first opportunity to look to come forward now. Down the left hand side, Oliver Norburn I think is hunched over inside the centre circle very early on, but play continues as the ball switched across to Carrington now. Midway inside the Guiseley half, plays the low ball into the feet of Connor Jennings, the captain, who spins, turns, plays the ball across the 6-yard box, comes across the far side. Wrexham look to get a shot off, it's blocked and behind for a very early corner. 45 seconds gone in the first corner of the game goes to Wrexham.
Really speedy start to this game. Clearly that's what Wrexham are after, really putting the pressure on the Lions early doors. Norburn stretched for a challenge there, and I think he got clouted, so hopefully he can run that off. He's still moving about.
Yeah, it's what he's trying to do, isn't it? Run it off rather than receive any treatment. He's made his way back into the Guiseley 6-yard box as this corner comes across from the far side in towards the near post, headed away by Rob Atkinson, up into the air now and further away by Wrexham as Ollie Johnson now looks to put Carrington under a bit of pressure. The Carrington swings the ball forward. Ben Parker gets his hand to it, knocks that away. The man with the captain's arm man. Now Ollie Johnson can play it. Adam Boyes with a really good chance, gets to the edge of the 18-yard box, goes for goal, forces a good save out of Reece Taylor. A really good start and a really good counter-attack from Guiseley there. What an opportunity that was.
Fantastic stuff, really quick break. Ollie Johnson took a high ball on his chest, played a lovely through ball to Adam Boyes, who first touch was superb, second touch clearly eyeing up the goal, aimed for the top right hand corner, and a good save from the Wrexham keeper Rhys Taylor.
Well, one of Adam Boyes' goals this season did come at the racecourse ground and in a very similar situation. Stunning strike it was in that 3-3 draw we had there, as this corner now comes in from Oliver Norburn. It's a poor one though, and he's easily dealt with by Jamal Fifield. Will Hatfield though will pick up the loose ball midway inside the Guiseley half. Caden Jackson though gives chase on everybody as the ball goes back to Dano. Takes deflection off Jackson. Wrexham look to get it forward again first time, but Ryan Toulson sends it forward. Takes a touch off for Guiseley man for Ollie Johnson and goes out for a Wrexham throw.
That's a good early sighter as well for Adam Boyes. He's a man who desperately needs a couple of goals, bit of confidence to really get him back to the player he was at the end of last season.
The ball is back in play now as it's looked to be hooked away by Javan Vidal, but Wrexham end up keeping possession and it goes back to their goalkeeper Rhys Taylor. He clears it only straight to Oliver Norburn. Now Johnson, now low on this left-hand side, looks to get an early ball in towards Boyes. Boyes takes the touch, but he's then closed down. Ollie Johnson goes to ground challenging with Vidal, and again Ollie Johnson ends up conceding the free kick. A little bit unfortunate there, but it's a good show of commitment early on from Ollie Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson just trying to close Vidal down and stretches out a leg and takes him and brings him down.
The ball has been picked up from Guiseley following that free kick. But Anthony Dudley was dispossessed on that far side.
Yeah, Dudley took advantage of a loose ball there, but his touch was a bit heavy. Took him a bit too close to the defender, a bit too easily dispossessed. And then as Guiseley trying to get the ball back there, Adam Boyes just tracking back to try and win the ball, goes through the back of the defender, concedes a free kick.
4 minutes gone here at Nethermore Park. Guiseley 0, Wrexham 0. Here on Guiseley Radio, as Wrexham now looks to come forward down the left-hand side. The ball at the feet of their captain, Conor Jennings, splashes around the puddles in that left-hand side. The cross does come in, looking to find the head of Caden Jackson, and it's turned behind in the end off a Wrexham man for a goal kick. Don't forget you can get in touch with us here on Guiseley Radio. The way you do that is on Twitter, at Guiseley Radio is the Twitter handle you need. Myself and Dave will be keeping a check on that over the course of the evening. Let us know your thoughts on tonight's games and on the season for Guiseley in general. Shout out for Greg Sturrock. He was in touch. He says he's nervous. He's out in Spain. Going to be glued to Guiseley Radio tonight. Let's get these 3 points. He said it a little bit more aggressively than that, but we'll stick with that. The merit still stands.
Hola, Greg.
Hola. Oof. That's good play from Adam Boyes, closing down Emmanuel Smith.
He almost took the ball in the face there to try and close that ball down as Fifield tried to clear it.
Yeah, Boyes went sliding in. Ball ricocheted off Boyes, out for a goal kick. Now Taylor, the Wrexham keeper, sends that downfield, looking to find Jackson. Jackson misses it in the air, but the ball almost drops towards Conor Jennings. Now Toulson plays it back to Drench. Drench clears it downfield up to the halfway line. Anthony Dudley just loses out in the air up against Jamal Fifield. And the ball is cleared away by Wrexham and out for a throw-in.
The ball just moved slightly oddly on the as we look at it on the far side there, just to the in the Guiseley half. It looks like the pitch has cut up a little bit just over there. I wonder if that will.
Certainly seems to be where they were doing the short sprints in the warm-up, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's it. There's the sort of 2 tracks where the pitch has cut up quite badly.
We have had a lot of rain over the course of the day. Not enough to put it in any real doubt, but that's certainly taking its toll on the pitch.
We didn't even have to borrow the roller off the cricket club or anything to get tonight on.
Of course, that bit of moisture adds that little bit of extra zip to the surface, which you would think could only help Guiseley's play as they look to get this ball forward. Goes cross field. Now Carrington clears it down the right hand side. Caden Jackson will give chase. Danny Lowe does well, gets his head onto the ball, sends that infield to Lawler, who heads that back to Stephen Drench. Sensible play, decisive play as well from Jake Lawler there. Drench now clearing it downfield. Hudson gets his head onto it, gets it away. Lawler there to return it back into the final third. A good turn from Mark Carrington does Ollie Johnson completely. And Wrexham now look to bring it through in field with Simon Heslop. He's found Jennings inside the Guiseley half. Anthony Dudley will try and trap back and pick up the run as the cross comes in from the left hand side, looking to find Caden Jackson, who was trying to get above Danny Lowe, didn't get anything on it, and it goes behind. It goes out for a Guiseley throw.
Well, if Caden Jackson was 7 foot tall, he'd have got his head on that. It was a ball played across, out pace. It was great danger for the Lions there.
These Guiseley get themselves another throw in now, midway inside the Guiseley half. Danny Lowe comes forward to take this. Goes long down the line looking like Boys, who's being climbed all over by Blaine Hudson. So it's a free kick for Guiseley in a decent position. Level roughly with the edge of the centre circle inside the Wrexham half. Fair way over to this near side, the left hand side, as Guiseley are attacking. Oliver Norburn and Danny Lowe are the two stood over this. It's going to be Oliver Norburn to whip this in with his right foot. In swinger. Goes central towards the edge of the 6 yard box, headed away by the captain Connor Jennings, out for a throw in on this near side. Oliver Norburn is the man to pick up the ball. Danny Lowe is going to come and take it off him, as the Lions look to get 1 or 2 extra white shirts forward. 20 yards out or so, the throw-in's taken, flicked in field by Norburn, picked up by Dudley. He lays it back to Boys, perhaps overplayed it slightly there, the Lions, and it goes out of play on that far side via a Guiseley deflection for a Wrexham throw.
Yeah, it looked like a training ground move, thrown in and then played over the top into Anthony Dudley, and Anthony Dudley's on the edge of the penalty area there, and almost looks like he's got a chance to get a shot away, but tries to lay it off to Adam Boys. Definite overplaying there. Very strange decision by Dudley there.
And Wrexham have got themselves in through Javan Vidal. Good challenge though, comes in from Rob Atkinson, who steps across, knocks it back towards Stephen Drench. He was forced to just put it out for a throw-in to prevent a corner. On that far side now, midway inside the half, the throw-in's been taken. The ball now at the feet of Jamal Fifield into Jennings. Toulson does well, comes across, puts it out for another Wrexham throw, again midway inside the Guiseley half. The throw-in goes back now to Fifield yet again. Fifield now left-footed, looks to get the cross in, deflected off Jake Lawler. Now the ball goes down the right-hand side as guys look to attack, but it's been dispossessed. Wrexham look to come down the left-hand side. The ball goes out of play, and a throw-in is given.
Yeah, a bit of a coming together by the looks of it from the Wrexham player and Ryan. What looked like Rob Atkinson. Sorry.
Play back underway now with Wrexham getting to the edge of the box. Shot comes in. Stephen Drench does well, gets his body behind it to remove any danger there.
Yeah, the Wrexham man, he didn't have much support there, Caden Jackson. He was waiting for support, so he just felt he had to go for it. And in the end, quite a tame shot along the ground, easy for Stephen Drench to collect that.
Anthony Dudley wins a throw for Guiseley, which Ryan Toulson takes quickly, looking to find Boys. Knocked out of play by Fifield. For another Guiseley throw, as they edge closer to the 18-yard box. Ryan Toulson, the man, with the ball in his hands, dries it on his shirt, leans back against the advertising boardings on that far side. Looks to launch a long throw. This one flicked on by Jake Lawler. A second attempt, it is cleared by Wrexham. And now the ball at the feet of Javan Vidal. So he looks to get forward, a great ball over the top, trying to pick out Caden Jackson, but Steve Drench does well. Comes to the edge of his box, does well. Read that all the way.
Great.
Things going again for Guiseley. Sorry, Dave.
Great awareness from Steve Drench there. He has to come out and come out quite quickly, right to the edge of his penalty area, and he just took the pace off the ball and tried to restart another attack.
Ball sent downfield by Guiseley. Now Boys, back to Lawler inside the centre circle, switches then across to Ryan Toulson on that right hand side. Now Lawler again. Ollie Johnson now picks up the ball on the right hand side. He's got 3 red shirts around him, tries to turn back, ends up winning his side a corner via the corner flag.
Yeah, good bit of skill by Ollie Johnson. It does look like that front 3 again, Hatfield, Johnson and Dudley. They've been given sort of licence to move across that, play anywhere across that front 3 in the way that James Hurst has been in recent weeks of playing, of moving around to try and catch the defence out.
Corner now for Guiseley, 12 and a half minutes gone. Norburn delivers the cross in towards the 6-yard box. It's headed up into the air by a Wrexham man. It comes and drops back down almost on the crossbar, and the goalkeeper, Rhys Taylor, doesn't take his chances, sends it behind for another corner.
Yeah, good ball in, delivered at pace by Norburn at an awkward height. Well watched by Rhys Taylor.
Oliver Norburn again then to deliver this one. Slightly more pace on the ball this time. Headed away by Blaine Hudson. Will Hatfield nods it back into the box. Ollie Johnson does get to swing a leg at it. Back now to Hatfield again, just outside the box this time. Now Lawler lays it across well to Norburn on the right hand side. Does well, tries to turn back, keeps possession for Guiseley. Chips it up towards the back post. Adam Boys just can't quite get that under control inside the box. He's forced to bring it out. It's been given away. Hatfield goes in late on Vidal. Play continues though as Ollie Johnson now gets the edge of the box. And Ollie Johnson finds the bottom corner. Play continued whilst Wrexham felt there was a foul in the build-up. And Ollie Johnson danced his way beyond a couple of red shirts and then puts it coolly with his right foot into the near post corner. Guiseley lead against Wrexham inside 14 minutes. The Lions lead by a goal to 0.
Really good bit of pressure there from Guiseley. It comes at the end of that. They never gave up. They chased. They closed down the Wrexham defences they tried to clear. And an absolutely magnificent tackle on the edge of the penalty area by Will Hatfield. He absolutely got the ball, but he wasn't going to be denied. It was a full-blooded challenge that broke to Ollie Johnson, and Ollie Johnson just took his time, picked his spot, caused all sorts of problems, and slammed a shot into the bottom corner. He's back. OJ's back.
He danced wonderfully, didn't he? Beyond the couple of red shirts.
It was balletic.
And then just tucked it ever so sweetly inside that near post. There's Wrexham getting his back underway. Hudson gets the ball to Jennings now on this right hand side. There was a really good cross towards the back post in which Sean Newton, the Wrexham left back, had come bombing forward looking to get on the end of it.
And that right there is what Guiseley have to be aware of. Every time we've taken the lead in recent games, we're most vulnerable in the next 4 or 5 minutes. And Wrexham are determined to play this game at quite a high tempo, at quite a high pace. They're going to whip balls in. Guiseley are going to have to be on their guard for the entirety of this game.
Throw in for Guiseley, taken and flicked on. But Wrexham pick up possession and the ball goes loose inside the 18-yard box. Stephen Drench off his line quickly though, does well to claim that one. 15 minutes gone. Guiseley 1, Wrexham 0. Don't refresh YouTube, you're hearing that correctly. Guiseley leading inside 15 minutes. It's met by chance on that far side of we've scored a goal. It feels a while since Chester.
It does feel a while since Chester.
Of course, we did get one at Eastleigh.
We did. I mean, that's the thing. We've not been playing badly. We have scored goals this season. It's just conceding them.
Now Lawler nods the ball back to Rob Atkinson. Does well, turns, gets away from Jennings, and then looks to play the ball. I think he was looking to get it down that right-hand channel, where Dudley would have been more aware of it had it have come about 15 yards closer to him. Wrexham clearing it away now. Now Lawler again looks to hook it forward, finds Dudley. Dudley turns away from 3 and picks out Will Hatfield well. Hatfield bursts into the Wrexham half, comes across, plays a good ball into Boys! On a Boys! He's scored! He's found the bottom corner! A superb ball from Will Hatfield. Adam Boys held off 2 Wrexham defenders and pokes it beyond Rhys Taylor in off the base of the post. The man that desperately needed a goal has got one. Adam Boys makes it Guiseley 2, Wrexham 0.
Wow! How about that? That was an absolutely brilliant surging run from Will Hatfield. Again, he just decided he was going to get the ball, and get the ball he did. He's got Adam Boyes and Ollie Johnson running in front of him. He took his time, he picked his spot. Adam Boyes desperately needed that goal, absolutely, and just toe poked it beyond Reece Taylor, and it took an age, it seemed, to roll off the post and into the back of the net. But my goodness, what a start for the Lions.
17 minutes gone, Guiseley 2, Wrexham 0. Let's be completely honest, I don't think many people saw this coming. I will admit I did not.
Well,
I was nervous all day and fearing, and to be honest, don't get me wrong, there's a long way to go.
Very long way to go.
But I didn't foresee a start quite like this.
It's not against the run of play either. It started at a great pace, this, and Guiseley have matched Wrexham so far, all the way.
Here's Norburn now with the ball just inside the Guiseley half. He gives it back to Daniel Lowe. Wrexham pushing red shirts forward and trying to close down Guiseley when they have the ball at the back. Ball comes across now to Johnson on his left hand side inside the Wrexham half. Back to Lowe. First time ball forward, looking to find Boyes. Just 5 or 6 yards away from him though as Hudson looks to clear it. OJ goes up, challenging the air. The ball goes out of play off Simon Heslop.
It's that sort of game where the next goal is going to decide which way this game's going to go. I really do.
We've never said that after 18 minutes.
Well, no.
In the history of Guiseley Radio.
But just looking at this as a football game and taking Guiseley out of it for a moment, it's the sort of game Guiseley have had a fantastic start, slightly against the odds, taking the 2 chances that have come their way, but Wrexham is still a very dangerous side.
And indeed they are. As Jennings finds Jackson, a brilliant sliding tackle by the definite man of the match so far, Will Hatfield. Mr. Consistent this season.
He's been, I mean, just for me, he's been definitely one of our finest players this season. Certainly, as you say, Mr. Consistent, Mr. Guiseley as well. He is putting in a real shift this evening, and obviously he's had a big hand in 2 goals this evening as well. Long may that continue. But as I say, Wrexham's still a very dangerous side. Still got pace.
A lot of it in the form of Jackson as the ball's played forward towards Sean Newton, who was offside. The left back pushed up as they caught offside, so a free kick for Guiseley, which Stephen Drench is going to take. Literally on his edge of the 18-yard box. Sends it forward now. Manny Smith gets his head onto it. Now Javan Vidal on the halfway line, battling with Norburn, comes out on top. Vidal plays the ball out to Caden Jackson on this right-hand side. Jackson up against Daniel Lowe. Goes down this right-hand side, pulls it back to Carrington. Carrington, first-time ball, it's a good one. Headed away by Jake Lawler. Only out as far as Jamal Fifield, who didn't really get his feet sorted out and just knocks that forward. Ryan Toulson picks up the loose ball, sends it back downfield, looking for Adam Boyes. That goes back to Manny Smith.
I can tell you now, Torquay lead by 1-0 at home to Altrincham.
That was, after a lot of deliberation this afternoon, what I think would probably be the best outcome overall. Anything to keep them behind as Adam Boyes goes chasing, looking to put Manny Smith under pressure. He goes to ground. And the ball with Blaine Hudson now for Wrexham. As I say, I was trying to work it out, and I think if we can get Torquay, or if Torquay can be clear for that last game of the season with nothing to play for, that might help us out a bit.
I think that would probably be the best.
Anything to keep Altrincham below us really at this stage,
isn't it?
It's the lesser of the 2 evils.
Lesser of 2 evils. Yeah, we'd rather Torquay pulled away from us than Altrincham overtook us. So at the moment, Torquay doing us a favour, leading by 1-0. Kiddie and Halifax is still 0-0.
Scores elsewhere whilst we're at it. Wrexham though coming down this left hand side, playing a good ball infield. The cross comes in. Stephen Drench gets his hand onto it, and it's cleared away by Will Hatfield. That was something out of nothing really from Wrexham.
This is obviously a dangerous position now. They say 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline. It's probably true. Wrexham now really have to throw everything at Guiseley to get themselves back in this game, and they do have a lot in their locker.
So it's going to be a long throw for Wrexham on that left hand side. Newton takes it, gets it into the box, takes a flick on from a Wrexham shirt. Still not been dealt with entirely and the overhead kick comes in from Joan Vidal and goes at least 12 yards wide. They're out for a goal kick.
Well, he saw the glory there. He didn't quite make the connection he was looking for on the overhead kick, and well, not a let off so much for Guiseley, but another attack passes by without damage, and the longer that goes on, the better.
22 minutes gone. Guiseley 2, Wrexham 0. A superb start from the Lions here at Nethermore tonight. Goals from Ollie Johnson and Adam Boyes. Adam Boyes here again looks to chase and put Manny Smith under a bit of pressure. Wins his side of throw in midway inside the Wrexham half, taken quickly by Ryan Toulson. Plays the 1-2 with Dudley. Back now to Lawler. He's forced to go back to Danny Lowe. Switches it over to his left hand side. Didn't find Oliver Norburn. The ball picked up though by Will Hatfield. It's unfortunate. Just knocks it slightly out of play. Will Hatfield catches Rob Evans as he was looking to break away from him. Simon Heslop's...
Hatfield was a little bit out of position there because he tried to tidy up after Ollie Johnson's slight miscontrol of the ball. So he was always chasing Evans there and just managed to catch him. Nothing malicious in it though.
Free kick then for Wrexham. Bang on the halfway line. Mark Carrington. He's going to take the set piece for the Dragons. Sent over that far side, headed out of play off a Guiseley man for a Wrexham throw. Ball was kicked away. The referee, I think, is going to have a word with Anthony Dudley.
Macclesfield are down to 10 men in their home game against Dover. That one's still 0-0. And in the other game tonight, Grimsby 0, Braintree 0, and Eastleigh leading Barrow by 1-0.
Play it back underway now. The referee did have a word with both Ben Parker, the Guiseley captain, and Dudley. But here is Dudley. Plays the first time ball infield, looking to find Boyes, who couldn't quite squeeze it back through to Dudley, who was making the run. Wrexham now in possession. Good challenge though comes in from Ollie Johnson. Johnson chasing again. The ball moved by Wrexham back out to this right hand side. Inside the Guiseley half. Here's Carrington again. Infield now to Heslop. Back to Jennings, who's dropped deep. Finds a bit of space. Still Jennings. Look to slide it through to Kane Jackson. Rob Atkinson does well. Comes across, but then his ball forward is a poor one. All the way through to Reece Taylor.
Hello again, Greg. What's your beer, man? The Spaniards watching Madrid have absolutely no idea why Greg Sturrock's beer's just gone flying.
That is a wonderful image.
They call it cerveza over there.
They call what cerveza?
Beer.
Okay.
Man of the world, aren't you, Chris?
I've never been to Spain. I've never learned Spanish at school.
Do you learn Spanish at school now? It was still French.
It was an option. I did French. Can't speak much of that either.
Entertaining and educating on Guiseley Radio.
Hudson now challenging with Dudley. Dudley, he's like a terrier, just trying to nip at him in Wrexham. Accidentally put that out of play for a Guiseley throw in a good position. Throw in taken quickly. Back to Lawler. Here is Jake Lawler. Looks to get the cross in. Blocked well by Rob Evans. And the ball goes out for a throw in to Guiseley.
It's clearly the brief tonight is just to defend from the front and hassle and harry Wrexham at every opportunity.
Now Toulson delivers the ball into the box, headed away. Now Danny Lowe, first time, chips it back up towards Boyes. Boyes gets the flick on the ball at the feet of Dudley, lays it back to Boyes. Oh, Adam Boyes! That's a great finish! Wonderful play between Anthony Dudley and Adam Boyes. The ball is sent forward by Danny Lowe, nodded backwards by Adam Boyes into the feet of Dudley. Dudley played the perfect little layoff back to Boyes, who hits it first time beyond Reece Taylor into a top left-hand corner as we look at it. What a move by the two Guiseley strikers, and the Lions lead by 3-0.
What?
3 goals to 0, Dave.
What an evening this is turning out to be. Well, I tell you what, a ball played forward again to Anthony Dudley. Anthony Dudley does really well on the edge of the box to hold off the defender and lay it off to Adam Boyes. And I actually thought he'd under-hit it and Boyes wasn't going to get there. But Boyes has weighed it up beautifully, swings at it with his right foot, and it flies into the top right-hand corner. There's absolutely no danger of the keeper getting anywhere near it. Adam Boyes, he got the ball, he scored another goal, and it's 3-0.
That takes his tally for the season to 6. Superb play from Guiseley, although Wrexham now looking to come forward quickly. The ball has gone out of play as Kane Jackson was just stretching to keep that in. Well, if Greg Sturrock had lost a beer at 1 or 2-0,
I think he's buying around now, isn't he? Good grief.
the shots are certainly on Greg Sturrock in Spain tonight. At this rate, there's a long way to go. We drew 3-3.
We must not get overconfident, and that mustn't get onto the pitch either. By the way, they have still got a big job to do to keep Wrexham at bay here. But 3-0, they couldn't have given themselves a better start.
27 minutes gone. Guiseley 3, Wrexham 0. I don't care who you are, nobody saw this coming. But what a great performance it has been from the Lions so far.
Tell you what, if you had this on your racky, you'd be laughing.
Absolutely.
I don't think even the most hopeful of Guiseley fans would have suggested this particular scoreline.
Makes you wonder though, where the hell has this performance been this season?
Do you know what? I do think it's been brewing. Really good performances. Eastleigh, Cheltenham, Chester. We should have beaten them, and this sort of performance, it has been brewing, and it has been just waiting. It's brewed a little longer than perhaps we would have liked. It's almost stewed, but we're there now, and they're playing very well. And the Lions fans at the far end absolutely jumping.
3-0. Throwing now for Guiseley. She's been taken, looked to be worked in towards Adam Boyes. Wrexham defend that well enough though. The ball back up the halfway line with Ben Parker. Now low again. Looks to get it down this left hand side. Ollie Johnson challenges with Carrington. It just bounces above the pair of them and out for a Wrexham throw. Now back to Carrington from the throw in.
Eastleigh now 2 up on Barrow.
Now Manny Smith. Across to Fifield. Looks to get it down the line. Oliver Norburn does well, stands strong, gets the block in, puts it out off his back for a throw. Now Fifield looking to find a red shirt. There's a bit of movement, but it's being marked closely by Guiseley. Ball back all the way to Manny Smith. He switches that across to his centre half teammate of Blaine Hudson. Now Hudson over the halfway line. Back in field to Heslop. Looks to lift it forward towards Jennings. But Rob Atkinson does well. Gets it away. And now Guiseley, just at the moment, keeping Wrexham at bay as they look to find a way back into this. Long ball forward again. Looking for Jennings, headed away by Rob Atkinson. Now Hudson inside the Guiseley half. Heslop looks to play it low into Fifield. It's been intercepted, sent forward by Guiseley. Adam Boyes couldn't really get anywhere near
played
that.
over the top, even on the form Adam Boyes is on tonight. He was going to get there. Hey, Dinglebird, thanks for tweeting us at Guiseley Radio. She says, OMG, what's going on there tonight? Come on, Guiseley. What is going on?
I'm not entirely sure. But whatever it is, it's flaming wonderful.
I'm loving it.
It's absolutely marvellous. So far, Guiseley leading by 3-0. 2 goals for Adam Boyes. Both absolutely beautiful finishes, the second in particular. And it was Ollie Johnson that got the party started inside the first 14 minutes. Wrexham now coming down this right hand side. Good ball from Connor Jennings, picks out Mark Carrington. Carrington gets the cross in. Stephen Drench, well, he seemed to miss it, but I think it was because it took a touch off Caden Jackson and has gone behind. Caden Jackson can't quite believe it.
He was under pressure there from Jamal Fifield there, and Fifield did get the touch just ahead of Stephen Drench. I think if it had been any more than just a touch to take it out of play, I think it might have been a foul, because it really was quite a fearsome challenge on Stephen Drench. Is it full time yet? My goodness.
Stephen Drench now sends that downfield, headed away by Wrexham. Picked up though by Ryan Toulson, who's put under pressure but does relatively well. Will Hatfield though put under more pressure, ends up giving possession back to Wrexham as they look to come down the left hand side with Evans. Evans gets the low ball across, it's bouncing around the penalty area and hoofed away by Rob Atkinson and out for a throw in.
A really nice move there in the end by Wrexham, and a nice passing move, and they almost undid us there.
Cross comes in from Fifield, headed away, or partially away by Guiseley. Jake Lawler puts his foot through it, puts it out for a throw in for Wrexham on this near side now as we sit in the main stand here at Nethermore.
And what the Lions are doing well is getting bodies behind the ball here and trying to keep Wrexham at bay.
We do not want the hard work being undone before half time. Ideally, can't really afford to give them that foot back into the game on the score sheet. As Caden Jackson out picks up the ball on the left hand side, tries to dance between two. Cross comes, shot comes in from Jamal Fifield, and it's held well by Stephen Drench at the second attempt. He sends it forward quickly downfield, looking to find Norburn, just a little bit too little on it on this occasion. Now
OJ still running to charge down that second ball. Does well there. He's putting in a shift himself tonight, OJ.
Now Smith picks up Jennings, who for a striker has come very, very deep and played a poor ball forward, which goes through to Stephen Drench. He takes his time picking this up until the last second, as Caden Jackson does look to try and close him down, but Drench picks it up. It's a little bit too early for time wasting, even at 3-0 up after half an hour or so. We've got 34 minutes on the clock. Ball forward, looking to find Boys. Blaine Hudson does well. Wrexham keeping possession now, just inside their half though, as they look to get over the halfway line through Jennings. Jennings finds Newton. Newton down the left hand side, plays a good ball to Jackson. Jackson with a lot of pace, looks to get past Atkinson. Atkinson does well, stands it up, the ball is forced back to Jennings on the edge of the box. And now Norburn away. He looks to try and bring it forward. Just about finds Danny Lowe. First time clearance down the left hand side. Boys up against Blaine Hudson. Boys does very well, wins possession back. Now to OJ on the edge of the Wrexham penalty area. Still Johnson lays it back to Norburn. Norburn goes for goal. Kept it low, hit it well, just a few yards wide of that far upright.
Well, again, Adam Boyes' industry pays off there. He wins the ball back off the Wrexham defender Blaine Hudson, squares it into an advancing OJ, who's bust a gut to get all the way up the pitch from that Wrexham attack, and then has to lay it off, doesn't quite find the space, has to lay it off to Oliver Norburn, doesn't quite make the connection that he would hope for, just slips off his right foot and wide of the goal. But another good thing from good move from Guiseley.
Kept it low and hard though, the effort from Oliver Norburn. Guiseley looking hungry for more goals when they get the chances to go forward. As Anthony Dudley does very well up against Jamal Fifield. He's got past him once, he's got past him twice as well. He's down by the corner flag, they'll cut by two. Looks to play a good ball in field. Unfortunately, Will Hatfield just slipped at the crucial moment there. The ball played now by Wrexham to Vidal. Brings it over the halfway line. A little knock back to Jackson. Now Heslop. Now Carrington. Back to Heslop. Across to Rob Evans inside the centre circle, brings it forward. Still with Evans. Heslop. Now Jennings. The Wrexham captain, 14 league goals for the season. Diagonal ball now from Blaine Hudson, nodded down by Caden Jackson, looking for Sean Newton. The offside flag up against Jackson.
Good defending there by Guiseley, and actually I think this is one of the most disciplined defensive performances I've seen from the Lions this season. Jake Lawler appears to be dropping back almost to make a back five without the ball. and then Johnson is also dropped back into a sort of holding midfield position. So they're getting bodies behind that ball and really working for each other and really looking for each other. There was a point there at Norburn and Johnson just swapped places. It's so far, this is probably performance of the season. If you just took 36 minutes out of the season, this would be it.
This would be the best that we've had this season.
Yeah, comfortably.
Wrexham now looking to get the ball downfield. Caden Jackson, absolutely rapid pace as he chases down Rob Atkinson. Atkinson forced to knock that out. Throw-in taken quickly. Now Jackson back to Newton. Jackson again inside the box, goes for goal over the top and wide.
Well, again, Guiseley getting men behind the ball, forcing Wrexham to have pot shots from sort of outside the area. There's always going to be danger from Wrexham, and there's always going to be an opportunity for them there tonight as well. They are going to get chances, and it's down to Guiseley to how they deal with that tonight. But so far, we keep saying this. So far, we're holding them at bay.
Well, if we were in a much more secure situation than we are, I'd feel sorry for the travelling Wrexham fans after this opening 40 minutes almost. Because, it's a long way to travel to be 3-0 down inside half an hour. However, in our situation, it's unfortunate.
It's
at
just
best.
Unfortunate, isn't it? And a little bit of me is thinking, about time.
Yeah, well, as you say, we've been waiting for this kind of attacking performance to come. I mean, beyond the goals, we haven't really had that many opportunities of testing the goalkeeper. It's nice to see that, for once, everything so far we're hitting goal bound is going in.
But we've had games like that before where those chances haven't gone in.
Absolutely. Wrexham now looking to come forward. Kane Jackson with the ball at his feet inside the 18-yard box. Balls it back to Jennings. Jennings turns, gets onto his right. Steve Drench does well, holds it easily.
Does really well, and he holds the ball up over his head triumphantly as he collected that, because that was a good cross at a difficult height. He did well to hold on.
Ball sent forward by Drench. Chested down well by Hudson. Now Vidal on the halfway line. On this right-hand side, as Wrexham look to come forward. Throw the ball back as a Paul, and Boyce does really well. First time passing to OJ. OJ puts it through the legs of Evans. Now Lawler plays it down that right-hand side, where Ryan Toulson is absolutely busting everything. Gets it, pulls the cross in. OJ couldn't get it under. It drops for Ollie Norburn, who's told to shoot and nearly finds the back of the net. Everyone around Nethermore in a Guiseley shirt was telling him to shoot, and he very nearly picked it out into that top left-hand corner, just a couple of yards wide.
Tell you what, Wrexham,
that would have been some strike.
Wrexham will be furious though, because he had an absolute age to decide what he was going to do with it. He did look like he was going to play it out to this near side, but he had the opportunity. They weren't closing him down, so he had time to pick his spot, and we've seen him do it before.
I can't believe
so close.
Ollie Norburn, after missing by only a couple of yards, was just shaking his head in frustration. It was a really good effort, and for any normal player from that kind of range, that would be a worldy effort.
Wrexham are preparing a substitute.
No, I haven't. Nobody's gone down.
You can only assume this is a tactical change.
40 minutes gone. 5 till the break. But they're making the change now. And it's Javan Vidal who is going off.
Wes York.
So Wes York, the attacker, the striker is on. Not really surprising at this stage. Well, it is, in the sense that we've only played 40 minutes and he's making a change, but clearly not afraid to make a change if he feels it's necessary. Gary Mills.
Well, from Wrexham's point of view, they have to make a change. Gary Mills did say before this game they need 4 wins out of 4 to have a chance of making the playoffs. That's looking pretty distant at this point.
Yeah, a win for Wrexham tonight would see them overtake Tranmere, I think, and get in. As the ball sent forward by Guiseley. Reece Taylor comes out of his area, goes to ground and puts the ball into the cricket pitch as Adam Boyce was lurking down again. This is the best I've seen Adam Boyce play all season.
Well, I tell you what, Boys has had good games across this season as a striker, closing down the defenders. What's different tonight is he's had a couple of chances which he's absolutely belted into the back of the net, and secondly, he's getting a little bit of change out of those defenders, and it's just boosting that confidence all the time.
Throwing now for Guiseley. The Lions keeping possession as they work the ball back in field. Now Hatfield, Lawler, good ball into Dudley. Dudley looked to turn, really unfortunate, but a good challenge did come in from a Wrexham man. Now Jackson goes back to where's York. Ball played forward. Danny Lowe does well. Evans. Now here is Wes York down this right hand side. Looks to get the ball into the Guiseley area. Does get it in, but it's defended well in a way by Dudley, and Boys busts an absolute gut and does really well again. Gets the ball back for the Lions. Now Norburn on the halfway line. Finds Hatfield. Hatfield with a driving run forward. Gets away, goes for goal! Oh, just wide! A really good run and effort from Will Hatfield. It's gone behind for a goal kick.
Well, what a little bit of confidence will do for you. And I think, have we won a corner there?
A corner.
I think we've won a corner there. Will Hatfield gets the ball on the halfway line there. Oh no, I think guys were expecting a corner and it's not been given. But Will Hatfield wins the ball on the halfway line, then it just bursts through the Wrexham midfield. Absolutely given an age to pick his spot, and again just hammers a shot just wide of Taylor's goal.
Really, really unfortunate. You had two really good efforts from distance in the last 5 minutes or so as we enter the final 2 minutes of the half plus added time. You'd expect it to be a bit.
Where's York? Sorry.
There's going to be another change for Wrexham.
James Gray, looks like he's about to come on.
Corner now for Wrexham though. As the ball goes behind of a touch, and we are going to get that change now. And it's Blaine Hudson who is going off.
Well, that is another defender off and another striker on. So, what does that tell you? And Blaine Hudson's had a torrid evening against Adam Boyes this evening. He's been closed down time and time again, and sacrificed possession in dangerous areas, and did so in the build-up to that chance from Will Hatfield.
Corner now comes in for Wrexham, held well by Stephen Drench. Absolutely, though, as you say, Wes York has come on and he's operating down this right-hand side. He's just replaced Jaman Vidal. And James Gray, the number 9, has come on. So you've got Jackson, Jennings and Gray. There's an attacking front three. Ball set forward now by Guiseley down his left-hand side, though. It's just going to run out of play for a goal kick. 40 seconds of the half to go. Absolutely crucial that Guiseley keep it at 3-0 till the break.
Now what we've got to do, and what the Lions have to do as well, is work out who's playing where, because they've taken a defender and a central midfielder off and put on 2 strikers. So it sort of looks like 4-2-4 as they line up for this goal kick.
The second half is going to be very interesting if it stays 3-0 till half time.
And one of the things I was a little bit worried about was the possibility of...
Great work from Anthony Dudley, who was chasing down that right-hand side, looking to get a loose ball that Wrexham were happy to let bounce out of play. 3 minutes of added time to go. But Anthony Dudley was in full flight on that right-hand side, getting down the right-hand side. He got the ball and then was caught by Jamal Fifield.
Dangerous position for a free kick, but again Dudley just running his legs off there to try and get something out of the Wrexham defence, and Fifield just caught him just a little bit late. Dudley was moving at quite a pace, so it's not a surprise that it was a spectacular looking
and a yellow card
for
Jamal Fifield. You do almost feel this is going to be one of those nights where it's going to have absolutely everything in this game.
It's possible. Not everything.
Well, we are into...
Not 3 Wrexham goals.
Hopefully not. Definitely not, in fact. We are into added time as this free kick is now taken by Toulson. Headed away by Sean Newton. Ben Parker does well, knocks the ball back to Lowe. Lowe finds Ollie Johnson. Johnson's touch is a poor one though. Gets his studs caught in the turf and falls at the crucial moment. Carrington now knocks the ball back in field. Here's Jennings. Tries to link it with Jackson. Danny Lowe reads it very well. Great play. Manny Smith now challenging with Adam Boyes. Smith comes out on top. The ball sent forward by Wrexham. Back now to Heslop. As you say, it's very much when Wrexham are in possession going forward a 4-2-4. Now Jackson down this right hand side. Ollie Johnson does well, gets a challenge in. Goes out for a Guiseley throw.
Yeah, that is something that guys are going to have to be aware of in the second half. That 4-4-2, they're going to try and get down the wings. They're going to try and take advantage of the fact that we play with attacking fullbacks and attacking right and left midfielders, and try and get some space down in those corners.
Throwing taken by Danny Lowe, looking to find Ollie Johnson, but it's been intercepted and cut out by Wrexham. Wrexham now play the ball over that left hand side. A very excitable Colin Robertson has just come back in as Kane Jackson puts the ball into the hands of Stephen Drench, but caught in an offside position. I don't like it when Guiseley scored that much, because every time I do, Colin feels the need to punch me with excitement. He wasn't even sat anywhere near us for this first half, and he's just come across and punched me a few times.
That's essentially abuse in the workplace. I don't agree with that. Workplace.
I will take that at this stage. Free kick now for Guiseley. Can't be much longer.
I'll make it 20 seconds.
Time to go. And the ball sent forward by Guiseley. Adam Boyes looks to get on the end of it as the ball is sent forward by Guiseley, but Wrexham pick up possession, defend it well. Now Jackson on this right side, great work from Johnson, steps across, puts it out for a throw. The work rate has been nothing short of superb.
Wow.
And there we go. Michael Salisbury blows the half-time whistle. And where do you start with that? A terrific half from Guiseley. Undoubtedly the best half of football we have played this season. Sees the Lions lead at half-time by 3-0.
Well, Nethermore at the half-time whistle rose to applaud Guiseley off the pitch. That was quite simply the best 45 minutes of football that Guiseley have played all season. They have looked like an absolutely different team to the ones that we've seen in previous games, certainly even to the one that played with great credit against Cheltenham Town. They've had the chances, they've created the chances, they've caused Wrexham all sorts of problems in defence this evening, as evidenced by the fact that Wrexham have made 2 changes before even half-time, and two absolutely superb finishes from Adam Boyes, and not before time too. It's about time he had those chances, about time they came off for him, and they absolutely have this evening. And great to see Ollie Johnson off the mark as well, just causing all sorts of problems in that penalty area. And my goodness, if we had a team of Will Hatfields on the pitch as well. He's been an absolute engine this evening. He has not stopped once. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch them this evening, and you can't say that very much this season.
So the goals, Ollie Johnson on 14 minutes, a brilliant challenge from Will Hatfield right on the edge of the Wrexham penalty area to win the ball back for Guiseley. Fell beautifully into the path of Ollie Johnson, who danced away from 3 red shirts before tucking it back into the near post for a great finish. That was on 14 minutes. Then Adam Boyes on 17 minutes, just 3 minutes later, with a wonderful left-footed finish, a cross goal. Was it going in? Was it going to hit the post? It hit the post and went back in. That got us 2 up inside 20 minutes, I'll say 17 minutes. And then Adam Boyes on 26 again. A man that has been desperate for goals. A superb finish from outside the box, roughly the 18-yard line. Right-footed, flew into the top left-hand corner. And since then, to be fair, Dave, chances as well have come. As we say, Oliver Norburn had a great effort from about 35 yards out, which was narrowly wide of a top left-hand corner. And Will Hatfield, as you alluded to, a great driving run. Again, only a couple of yards wide.
They've found a lot of space in that Wrexham midfield. It's an absolute peach of an evening. I can hardly even feel the cold in my fingers. It's amazing stuff. we'll just have a quick look through at the other scorelines this evening. Eastleigh 2, Barrow 0, Grimsby 0, Braintree 0. No one cares about them now. Kidderminster 0, Halifax 0. That's in the other game that we need to keep an eye on tonight. And Torquay 1, Altrincham 0 is probably, we were discussing earlier, probably the result we would have favoured of the two if you're going to win.
I'll tell you for why. Hit the Birds live standings. That's why that Torquay result at the moment.
Chris, the last thing I am going to do now is look at that table, because if I look at that table, I will curse this. We are 3-0 up at home to Wrexham in a game we absolutely have to win. Now, if I look at that standings at half-time, and I encourage all Guiseley fans not to look at the live standings on their phone apps or whatever, because we're not there yet. We're 45 minutes away. You can look at it at full time. I am not looking at it now.
Get the thoughts of Tom Feeney then, Dave.
I've been joined by Tom Feeney here up in the press box. He's been sat next to me throughout that entire first half, looking every bit as wide-eyed and incredulous as I have been this evening. Tom, pick the bones out of that 45 minutes.
Just incredible. That is the best 45 minutes I've seen Guiseley play all season, and what a time to do it. I mean, Adam Boyes, who works so hard, there are times where, you know, there's frustration for him because he closes down the lost opportunities. He really goes for it. But tonight, wow, you know, absolutely incredible. Both goals he's taken, and he did so well in taking them. And then, you know, you look at Ollie Johnson, who's had his problems with injuries. I spoke to him after he returned from his injury, and he was saying that he needed a goal. He felt one goal would give him the confidence, give him the boost, and it's a fantastic finish. And, you know, Wrexham, it speaks volumes that they've made the two changes before half-time. Obviously, they're not happy with what they've been doing. It's been a poor performance by Wrexham, but, you know, let's not give too much grief to Wrexham because we have been so good. What a fantastic first half that is. And, you know, I know that some fans have been tweeting saying they want 10, and, you know, I don't think that'll be happening, but hey, we'll be having more chances the way we're playing.
Well, certainly Wrexham have, as you said there, they've made two changes before half-time. We thought it looked like they were going for a 4-2-4, which suggests to me that they're going to try and get down those wings, take advantage of our forward-looking fullbacks and the forward midfielders as well. If you're Gary Mills is no mug, and he's an experienced manager. What the hell does Gary Mills say to that Wrexham team now?
I don't know. I don't know, you know. I think what was really interesting was the two players that came off. Both of them seemed to put the hand out for a handshake off Mills, and he didn't oblige. So he's clearly absolutely livid, rightly so as well, because, you know, you look at it, Wrexham came here. Mills said beforehand he wanted to win this. He thought this was not an easy win, but he thought it was a winnable game. And, you know, you look where they are in the league, they should have every right to think that. But guys have absolutely blown them off the park. And I think Mills, you know, obviously he's going for it now. He knows that they've got to win every game. So that, you know, hopefully will mean the space will open up a bit more for guys like the likes of Boyes, Johnson. You know, you look on the bench, Rothery, Smith, you know, they come on 20 minutes to go when the legs are going to be very tired for Wrexham. And more goals in this for Guiseley, but obviously, you know what, we were sat together last year at Chorley when it looked like the game was dead and buried, and obviously we pulled it round. So we've just got to be sensible at the back. Hopefully we will be, and if so, what a huge win this will be, both not just for the points but the morale of the squad, because this is the kind of performance you can build on for the last 3 games of the season to gain momentum. And them lads rightly applauded off at half-time. Absolutely fantastic, every single one of them.
Thanks very much, Tom, for your thoughts there. I'll let you get back to your coffee. Get your breath back, man. My goodness me. Well, it has been an extraordinary evening so far here at Nethermore. We all need some time to just compose ourselves for the second half, and I do think in that second half the composure is going to be absolutely the key as we go forward into this second 45, and certainly the Lions will be looking to make the most of that, the fantastic start that they've given themselves. Now, don't often do this. We've got Colin Robertson over here, and he was absolutely bouncing. He's our lead commentator. He's got a biscuit in his mouth, so I'll just let him finish his mouthful before I speak to him. But he came back over here. He was absolutely bouncing. He punched Chris Bell 3 times in the arm, 1 for each goal. Colin, what did you make of that first half?
Well, we've looked superb, haven't we? We've been absolutely on the front foot, and we've been closing them down from the off, right from the very start of the game, which has not been like us, playing on the front foot, closing down. Brilliant goals from OJ and Boise. What a strike from Boyes for that third. Absolutely superb. But I think they'll probably be furious with themselves. They haven't really defended at all well. But for once, we've exploited it, haven't we? And even at 3-0, I'm still thinking, come on, let's just hold on to this now. Because, games can change, can't they? Early goal in the second half. We've got to be mindful of that and just see this job through now, though. We've really got to see this job through.
Well, Wrexham we think have thrown 4 men up front. Tom's already alluded to that glorious afternoon in Chorley. I'm also joined now by Nick Keith. Now, pre-match, Nick, you weren't particularly optimistic. It's fair to say. Have you changed your opinion?
One of my least favourite scores to lose by is 4-3.
Nick Keith, everybody. Captain Happy. Come on, Nick, come on. Even you can't fail to be enthralled by this.
No, it was a great first half, and it was a great flurry of goals. There were some really awkward moments in the ground as the third goal in particular went in, and none more so than me and Colin. There was screaming, and we looked at each other, and there was nearly a really awkward man hug, and then we both bottled it, and there was like a handshake, high five, fist bump that was like paper, scissors, rock, gone horribly wrong. It's been that kind of evening so far. It's hard to believe.
Hard to believe is absolutely, and so far, Nick, I don't know if you've had a chance to have a look at the other scores, but they're going our way. Torquay beating Altrincham by 1-0, and Kidderminster Halifax are still 0-0.
Wow. Okay. So Halifax, that's their game in hand, isn't it? So ideally, we'd like Kidderminster to pull off another.
No, their game in hand's against Eastleigh.
Oh, is it?
Away, apparently.
Oh well, good luck to them with that.
It just depends what the pitch is like. If it's the potato field that we played on, my goodness, anything could happen. We just can't tell. Well, there's a couple of Wrexham players making their way back out onto the pitch, presumably with a flea in their ear. Not quite sure who's coming out. It's one of the Wrexham defenders. Seems to be bringing in a couple of the substitutes who were out on the pitch warming up. Oh, he's back out with them. I'm not sure. We've got an attendance tonight of 998. I've just been handed that, but then it's just been taken off me, so who knows if that's true or not. 1,046. Nick Keith mimes to me. 1,046. Is that what we're saying? 1,046. Well, I tell you what, that's been boosted by a really good turnout from the Wrexham fans tonight. I mean, it's a long way to come from North Wales on a Tuesday night. You'd have to leave work early or get yourself holiday. So all credit to the Wrexham fans who've made it over here tonight, and they have made some noise this evening as they as they've had precious little to cheer about, to be honest. And a good turnout for the Lions fans as well. So 1,046 here at Nethermoor this evening, and so far they are witnessing a quite spectacular performance from the Lions, and absolutely almost a perfect performance, perfect 45 minutes. Now, we don't necessarily need a perfect second half, but I think we need a solid, disciplined second half to get us back, to get us home and win us these 3 points. Don't forget, of course, you can tweet us at Guiseley Radio. We are monitoring that, and we will give you a shout out in the second half if we can. We've had Greg Sturrock this evening listening from Spain. He's apparently in amongst a load of Madrid fans who are presumably watching the Champions League. I have no idea what's happening in that, but
we don't really care, do we, Dave?
We don't really care. Welcome back, Chris. Greg Sturrock. Oh, here he goes. Greg Sturrock. He's just had an absolutely crazy phone call from the George Stock stand. Presumably along the lines of, we're winning 3-0!
Dave, we're winning 3-0, Dave.
Well, I tell you what, it's been such a long time since we could say that at any point in a game, and certainly not this season at all. But we did say at the beginning of this season, and we've said it throughout the season, that any win that Guiseley will get in this National League, it's got to be hard fought, hard won, and earned, absolutely earned. And every win that we get is precious and should be treated like a cup win. If we manage to hold this out, if we manage to hold this 3-0, and I'm loath to speculate too much, but this has got to be win of the season.
Yeah, you cannot argue. As I say, for me, that is undoubtedly the best 45 minutes of football we've played this season. I mean, I've just been speaking to some of our colleagues from the Wrexham Media camps, and well, firstly, they want to sign Adam Boyes offers. Secondly, they're as shell-shocked as everybody else around here that's following Wrexham. And also, whilst I was there, main reason, what's your formation going to be, lads? Because we have no idea. The outcome, either 4-3-3 or the more likely 4-2-4.
Well, we did see them line up as a 4-2-4 rather, towards the end, and that could play into our hands a little bit.
Well, this is what I was thinking. There's 4 strikers out there on the pitch of Wrexham. They're fancying it being a 4-2-4. That means that midfield's pretty empty. We just have to seriously work hard to keep them at bay. But on the counter, potentially a prospect of more goals. We haven't scored 4 this season, have we?
Oh no,
wait, no. Yes,
don't
we
even
have.
go there. And yes, we have.
Woking.
But don't even go there. We're not. Don't get me wrong. No one would enjoy a 6-0 victory more than I. But
right,
3-0 at half
time.
time.
Can we have a little bit of positivity, because we've never been in this position this season.
I am positive. I want the Lions to produce a solid performance in this second half, and there is hard work ahead, and I want us to see this out. The result is paramount tonight, and 3-0 up at half time is an absolutely brilliant start. But there is still 45 minutes to go.
Just seen a tweet of from somebody to Wrexham, which obviously, guys, that you've got to mention in. Get your finger out, you lot are doing my coupon in at 8 to 11.
Hooray! The more things change, the more they stay the same. We're doing someone's acca. Hello, Gary Birdsall. He says we're staying up. Well, we're getting there. And Dinglebird, listening to this, makes up for not being able to get tickets for the last match of the season at Leicester. Well, I'll tell you what, Dinglebird, if you've got spare 15 grand, I'm sure you can probably sort that out.
15 grand?
15 grand. That's what Leicester tickets are going for.
We will come back to that.
Third Wrexham substitution.
Oh no, this is a Guiseley one.
I beg your pardon.
Johnson off, and Gavin Rothery.
I beg his pardon. I assumed it would be a Wrexham one, but okay. Well, we hope that's not an injury to Ollie Johnson or anything, because he's had a spectacular 45 minutes. But he has run his socks off, and he is still coming back from long-term injury. The teams are out on the pitch. Wrexham ready to and just have restarted this game. And I will hand you over to our match commentator, Chris Bell.
Thank you very much, Dave. And that very quick chirp is for the ball going out of play from a poor pass from Sean Newton on this near side. Now, 1 or 2 Wrexham fans in that terrace are, well, I think they think we're time wasting already, which we're not. We've only played 30 seconds of the second half. The attendance, by the way, 1,046 is the official amount. Wrexham in possession from a throw-in, though, which Newton played. Wrexham now coming forward again, looking to get the ball out to Wes York. Too much pace on the ball across. And behind for a goal kick. Wrexham shooting from left to right. Sorry, from right to left in this second half towards the travelling Wrexham fans. And Guiseley from left to right towards the Bowling Green end here at Nethermore. Stephen Drench will take the goal kick. Manny Smith gets his head onto it, sends it forward, and the ball takes a couple of bounces over the top to Connor Jennings. Jennings gets to the edge of the 18-yard box, plays out to Wes York on this left-hand side. Does well, turns back, gets a ball across to the far side of the 18-yard box. And Guiseley defend it well, and here's Gavin Rothery. His first involvement in the game is the short run down that left-hand side. Looked to play the ball early to Boyes. And it's been intercepted, though, by Wrexham. And here's Evans. Now Fifield. Over the top ball from left to right, looking to pick out Wrexham man, but it's been headed away by Guiseley. And Guiseley now looking to try and pick up the second ball as Rotherham goes sliding in, but it hasn't come out quite right for Guiseley there. Wrexham back in possession with the ball inside the Guiseley half. You do feel that may be a slight theme of this second half as Carrington now comes forward, gets the ball in, and it's turned behind by captain Ben Parker for an early corner in the second half for Wrexham.
Well, it's reasonable to assume that Wrexham are going to come out and throw everything at us. It's a cliche, but it's a cliche not without truth. The first 15 minutes of the second half, Guiseley just have to stay strong and stay organised at the back.
Corner out comes in. There's a foul there for a shirt pull. So a free kick given to Guiseley. And a chance for Guiseley really to see a little bit of the ball in this early first 3 minutes or so. But absolutely how important, Dave, for Guiseley not to concede in this first 10-15 minutes or so.
Of course. Wrexham are going to throw everything at us. It's important that we stay strong at the back, but we keep hold of the ball when we can and just frustrate Wrexham, because the longer this stays without them scoring, the better chance we have.
Now Lawler, as Guiseley look to come forward, it's a poor ball. He tried to pick out Dudley, but it was intercepted. Now here's Sean Newton. Low ball to the feet of Evans. Evans then looks to switch it over to the right-hand side, looking to find Caden Jackson, who's picked up a right wing role in this second half, with Wes York operating down the left, and that leaves James Gray and Connor Jennings, the number 9 and 10, respectively up top as the two main strikers.
Yeah, guys, he's starting fairly sensibly, trying to keep their shape. Even with the ball there, Rotherham had only limited options with boys in Rotherham. The fullbacks aren't bombing forward like we might expect them to. So I think in response to what they're expecting Wrexham to do and play that 4-2-4 rather.
Well, the Lions have got a throw in. Level roughly with the edge of the 18-yard box inside the Wrexham half. Dan Lowe has taken it, plays back to Lowe and out of play of a Wrexham man.
Kidderminster have taken the lead against Halifax.
Kidderminster 1, Halifax 0 at Agborough.
Hello, say a big hello to Ben Whitfield, who scored the goal.
Oh, Ben Whitfield, you absolute little beauty. For now, keep it up, Ben. You're doing well. What a result.
Well,
could be
scoreline.
All right, what a scoreline that is. Let's not get too. It's hard not to get carried away at this stage. I've got to be honest. But we'll try and remain composed and calm, Dave.
We have to remain composed and calm. The Guiseley players have to remain composed and calm as well. Because what's at stake is extraordinary.
Absolutely. Wrexham in possession, by the way, inside their own half. They've just been milling around with it really for the last 30 seconds or so. They've finally got up to the halfway line. Now Newton, back to Fifield, who has dropped in at centre-back. He's given a lot of space to run into. In the end, his ball forward is a poor one. Gets away from James Gray and behind for a goal kick.
Fifield allowed to move forward there, and there was some sort of shouts of discontent from the Nethermore crowd as they were expecting someone to come out. But the trouble is, if you bring someone out, that's one less person. And Wrexham have so many men forward at the moment that really Guiseley's best opportunity is just to hold their shape and make Fifield do what he did, which is play a speculative ball in.
Drench's clearance finds the head of Sean Newton. He gets it forward and it's only sent slightly out of play, only just, by Guiseley. Now Evans, infield for Wrexham. Shouldered down by Sean Newton. Now Evans on this left-hand side. Looks to get the cross in. Jake Lawler comes across. Sees the ball go out of play off him and behind for a Wrexham corner. It's going to be Wes York to deliver this corner. He'll be taking it right-footed, in swinging. Plenty of red shirts, unsurprisingly, in the area. They've changed their mind at the last second. It's now going to be Rob Evans. Still right-footed. up towards the edge of the 6-yard box, laid out well by Guiseley. And now Gavin Rothery can look to come down this left-hand side. He's got 3 red shirts ahead of him, does well, finds Dudley. Dudley lays it across to Norburn, waits for Boys to make the overlapping run. Now Norburn again. Wrexham have got red shirts back now. The ball played a little bit too much, really, and Reece Taylor will come and collect that.
Yeah, it's a good passing move on the break from the corner, and they did well to get themselves a little bit of space down the left-hand side, but they were the final ball was just a bit heavy.
Throw in for Wrexham on that far side, midway inside the Wrexham half.
It's true the impetus is all with Wrexham at this point. Guiseley don't have to go looking for a 4th goal particularly. They just have to keep the ball away from Wrexham, because the longer they can do that, the less chance there is of this side scoring.
53 minutes gone here at Nethermore. Guiseley 3, Wrexham 0. Connor Jennings goes for goal from distance and finds the advertising board just a couple of yards wide.
I think Drenchy had that. It was a shot from distance. Ben Parker was just slightly caught out there. He just misread the ball and just overran it, which allowed the Wrexham player to get forward and have a shot. It was a fearsome effort, but I think Drench probably had that covered. He made the dive just to be sure, but it was always going wide. I say that.
We presume it would have done.
Well, if Drenchy didn't look overly concerned, then he's got a better view than us.
Stephen Drench then sends the ball downfield. Headed away by Wrexham. Flicked backwards by Will Hatfield. Dudley can't keep this in play. And it's a throw in for the visitors. Newton takes it. Now Fifield again. Again, he's been given a bit too much space and allowed to get midway inside the Guiseley half. Eventually 1 or 2 do try and close out. Very much a case of trying to keep hold of your man. There's Fifield now lifts it in towards the 18-yard box. A bit of a clash. There's 2 players go down. 1 Guiseley, 1 Wrexham. And the Wrexham player gets up very quickly when he realises it's James Gray. Gets up very quickly when he realises that it's not going in his favour for a penalty.
Yeah, it was a bit of a coming together in the box. I don't think there was anything malicious in it, and the Guiseley player just stayed down. James Gray was certain. I mean, who would blame him looking for a penalty, even if from a speculative challenge such as it was? But it just sort of shows that the building frustration in the Wrexham side, that they're claiming that sort of thing, and James Gray there has had a very long conversation with the referee that the referee looks distinctly unimpressed by.
So a drop ball by the referee, unchallenged. And for Steve Drench, now he can just knock it in front of him. Just the scorelines from around the grounds. Eastleigh 2, Barrow 0, Grimsby 0, Braintree 0, Guiseley 3, Wrexham 0, Kidderminster 1, Halifax 0, Macclesfield 0, Dover 0. Both sides down to 10 men in that game. And Torquay 1, Altrincham 0.
That'll be a suspension for one of the Macclesfield players, Brannigan.
Of course.
And they're our next opponents next Saturday.
We travel to Moss Rose on Saturday. Of course, you can hear that game. If you can't make the trip across yourself, you can hear it here on Guiseley Radio. We will be in Cheshire for that one. And of course, after that, 2 games remain. Borehamwood away on the 23rd and Torquay United at home on the final day of the season on April the 30th. Where's York for Wrexham now? Bursting down his left-hand side. Rob Atkinson comes across. Doesn't touch the ball. Wes York had knocked it past him and had knocked, well, way too much past him. Not entirely sure what Wes York was trying to appeal for there.
I think Wes York actually was just grumbling that Atkinson had left his leg in. What's interesting is Tully and Atkinson having quite a animated, shall we say, discussion about who was at fault for allowing Wes York to get through there. I think Rob Atkinson won that discussion.
I think Rob Atkinson was probably right in that discussion as well.
He probably was. Wes York did Ryan Tulson.
He completely did Ryan Tulson. One of the qualities that Rob Atkinson, of course, is does possess. Of course, he's vocal. He's a leader.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's actually good to see, because too often this season I think there's players not been mouthy enough on the pitch and not been that kind of prepared to go across and remonstrate with a teammate when they've not come up to standard, and it shows. It shows that how seriously these lads are taking this today.
Will Hatfield does well, goes in for a challenge with Jamal Fifield. He's come out with a little bit of a limp. No doubt he'll be very keen to try and run it off, whatever it is. He's not gone down or looking to receive treatment or anything, so play continues. Wrexham in possession through Connor Jennings inside the Guiseley half, just outside the centre circle. Back to Jennings now as he lifts it over the top. Good play from Ben Parker. Playing in centre-back position. The ball goes down that left-hand side. Norburn looks to turn away. Back now to Danny Lowe. Early ball over the top. Looking to find Boys. Boys looks to try and control it somehow. Does get something on it. Knocks the ball back out to Gavin Roddery. To the left-hand side of the 18-yard box. Still Gavin Roddery inside the box now. Goes for goal straight to Reece Taylor.
Well, Adam Boyce does really well there under pressure in the penalty area to win that ball back and play it out to Gavin Roddery. And Roddery's just allowed to move onto the Wrexham defenders, gets it onto his right foot, but his shot goes straight at Reece Taylor.
Ryan Toulson puts a challenge in on Wes York. That's certainly shaping up to be an interesting battle between those two. Plenty of white shirts back though, as Manny Smith has the ball. Plays it into York. 20 yards out or so. Now Newton on this left-hand side, left of the 18-yard box, gets towards the byline, looks to get the cross in, and Ryan Toulson gets his challenge in, and behind the ball goes for a corner.
Well, whatever Tutwell said between Toulson and Atkinson, it's worked. Tully's been very, very good the last couple of minutes, closing down and closed down the cross there.
Corner now taken by Wrexham, headed over the top, and behind for a goal kick.
Whew, right. Okay. Barrow have got a goal back in their game at Eastleigh.
We're going to see
2-1 now.
The third and final change for Wrexham. And it's number 23, Simon Heslop, the man who's playing that defensive midfielder role. And he's been replaced by number 7, Lee Fowler. Just trying to tweak the team sheet and work out roughly what they'll do. It's basically a creative midfielder coming on to replace a more ball-winning defensive midfielder.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's what Wrexham have to do, is get Guiseley are sitting deep and defending well, and what you need is someone to put their foot on the ball and find a pass, and that's what they're obviously hoping Lee Fowler can do.
And here he is. Ball played infield. Now Newton. Fifield. Across to the right hand side now for Wrexham, inside the Guiseley half, level with the edge of the centre circle. Now Manny Smith. Now Fifield again. Back now to Evans. Now Jennings. Wrexham seeing plenty of possession. Struggling to make any real headway, and then when they do try and get that ball through, Ryan Toulson was there to intercept it, as Oliver Norburn now looks to unleash one down the right hand side. A little bit optimistic, but Anthony Dudley, to his credit, will give chase.
I think more just to release a bit of pressure there. Wrexham were just building up numbers on the edge of the Guiseley area, so it was just a hoof away for Dudley to chase, and Wrexham now have to build from the back. It just releases some of that pressure.
Now Fifield again gets the ball forward. Now Jennings. Now Evans. Now York. Look to try and squeeze it through to Kane Jackson. Cleared away by Guiseley. Lee Fowler does well though. Gets possession back for the visitors. Now York again. Carrington. Good ball up to the edge of the box. Jennings looks trying to get the shot first time. The second shot came in from James Gray, and it's straight at Steve Drench.
Yeah, just the run of the ball was against the Lions there. They still had numbers on the edge of the box, but it was a snapshot. Didn't really have any pace, and Drench does well, gets down and just makes that save.
Now Drench sends it downfield. This Guiseley look to try and get some possession in the second half, but it's been cut out by Wrexham. Here's Lee Fowler again, going to turn just outside his own 18-yard box, turns and plays a good ball down his left-hand side. Ryan Toulson heads that away. Will Hatfield can't pick up the loose ball, but Adam Boyes is there. Does well, gets there ahead of Manny Smith. Now Norburn finds Hatfield down the left-hand side, looks to try and turn in field and get away from Smith. Was thrown to the floor. Somehow a free kick isn't given in Guiseley's favour, and then Fifield looks to come forward, plays in now Connor Jennings. Jennings, 25 yards out from goal, looks to slide it in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Down low, does superbly. Now Ryan Toulson takes charge of the situation and comes across. Still Ryan Toulson now making headway down the left-hand side. Toulson still going. Unfortunately there, not to get on the end of that, as Manny Smith is forced to come across and played the ball out.
I was a little bit nervous because Tully's got into the Wrexham half there and just completely abandoned his right back position.
Not only into the Wrexham half, on the complete wrong side.
on the left-hand side. So
somebody check his shirt for blood. I think he might have had a nosebleed.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, he's obviously gone on a sort of swashbuckling run in the hope of something.
He's clearly thinking, Guiseley are 3-0 up, anything is possible.
Anything certainly is. And that's what worries me at this point. Wrexham just seeing a lot of the ball. I mean, it was always going to be like this, I think. Wrexham were always going to settle down.
Yeah, for the second half,
they
were
get a
always
bit
going to try
better
and
grip
take
on
charge.
this game, and we weren't going to see much of the ball in this second half. So far, so good.
64 minutes gone. Fifield looks to get the ball centrally, wins the second ball. Low one into the feet of Jackson, back to Fifield again. He lays it off nicely. James Gray, who's offside. And to be fair to Guiseley, they didn't know he was offside, and they got 3 white shirts back to block it.
Yeah, again, just looking at that energy in the Guiseley team and the energy in the defence as well. The flag was up for a long time before the whistle actually blew. So the Guiseley defenders obviously playing to the whistle, as they should. Closed down James Gray, really gave him something to think about. Can we say a big hello to Ray Wintle, who's joined us this evening? I don't know if you're any relation to Simon, but he says he enjoyed the Cheltenham game at Nethermore and he hopes we stay in the league, and we can certainly echo that, Ray.
Thank you for getting in touch. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us on Twitter. At Guiseley Radio is the way you do it. As Wes York now chasing after Rob Atkinson. Unusually for Rob Atkinson, he's out-muscled, but then puts in a superb challenge to put the ball out of play and alleviate the danger for so long. The throw-in taken quickly though. Newton, wicked ball into the box, all the way through and behind for a goal kick.
Again, a dangerous ball played at pace, could have gone anywhere, but again, there's a white shirt attached to a red shirt every single time so far.
Wicked left foot, Sean Newton, ex-Lincoln City left back. Was at Stockport County before that as well.
Torquay have taken a 2-goal lead against Altrincham now. Yeah.
As we were saying, I think I can live with that.
Again, of the two, that's probably what we'd have taken.
As things stand, that anyway is what would open up the biggest gap. As things stand.
As things stand. And as we're all too aware, as things stand can change very quickly.
Absolutely.
But the Lions are holding firm so far, so...
Here's Fifield. Plays it down this left-hand side, finds Newton. He's found Connor Jennings outside the box. Newton makes the overlapping run, gets the cross in towards the near post. Somehow, it's just about scrambled away by Guiseley. Will Hatfield got the final touch that was enough to get it out back to this left-hand side. Here's Jennings again. Low one into the feet of Evans. The ball ricochets across the face of the 6-yard box. Played away again, though, by Guiseley. Newton, another left-hand cross from the left-hand side, and that one is headed behind by Guiseley for a corner. The crosses keep on coming from this left-hand side, and nobody at the moment is closing down Sean Newton quickly enough to stop the crosses coming in.
Yeah, it's backs to the wall stuff at the moment. They don't want to come out to Wrexham for fear of leaving gaps at the back. So they literally 10 men in the penalty area right now. The 10 men are Guiseley. Just putting numbers back there, just holding on at this point.
Corner then for Wrexham. This one towards the near post and scrambled in. It's Sean Newton who is leading the celebrations as Wrexham scramble a goal back. It was a good ball in. And Sean Newton, the Wrexham left back, was the man to scramble it over the line beyond Stephen Drench.
Yeah, again, played in quick and at an awkward height. Newton just gets a touch on it and it just finds its way through a crowd of players and into the back of the net. Heads can't go down at this point. Yes, okay, Wrexham have got through, but so far, Guiseley are still in charge of this game.
Here's Dudley now for Guiseley as the Lions look for an instant response. Dudley gets into the box though. In the end, can't get beyond Jamal Fifield as the Wrexham fans have very much found their voice.
Well, it wouldn't do to be too comfortable now, would it? Not while watching Guiseley.
I would have happily taken the drabbest second half you've ever seen in your life. It was a really good ball. It's played by Fowler out to that right hand side. Carrington looks to get the crossing. Comes to Jennings. And a challenge has gone in on Caden Jackson. And for me there, the referee has possibly bottled that because it looked like a fairly certain penalty. He certainly saw something that I couldn't from this angle.
I think Rothery went in and it was just going at pace. He got the ball. He was on the right side of the defender. He's got the ball. He's knocked it out for a corner. I absolutely agree with the referee there.
Corner now for Wrexham from the right hand side. Drench gets half a hand on it. It's not been fully cleared away though. Wrexham still have it inside the box. Players going to ground all over the place. And now Norburn turns inside away from James Gray, still inside the Guiseley half though. Possibly overplayed it, but Ben Parker picks up the loose ball for Guiseley, gets it up to the halfway line, lays it back to Danny Lowe. Lowe sends it forward, finds Adam Boyes. Boyes looks to turn, does well, turns back, finds Rothery. Here's Lawler inside the Wrexham half. Lawler almost shrugged off the ball, but does well, stays strong. Hatfield now, switch it over to this right hand side, Guiseley. Here's Norburn. Norburn looks to play a good ball through to Dudley inside the Wrexham 18-yard box, pulls it back low in towards Lawler, and Guiseley get a corner.
Really good move from the Lions there, really did well. Came under pressure from the Wrexham defence but held on to the ball, worked it out to the right hand side, created an opportunity. Anthony Dudley tries to play it low into an advancing Adam Boyes, forces the Wrexham defence to put it out for a corner.
70 minutes gone, 20 to go plus added time of course, and a Guiseley corner. It's been taken up towards the back post. It comes as far as Atkinson. Atkinson plastic compound over the top.
Well, it came over quite quickly. It reached Rob Atkinson. He wasn't quite on balance when he tried to control it. His first touch wasn't great. It came onto his left foot. It's not his strongest, and he just gets underneath it. He just saw the glory for a moment there, though, didn't he?
That would have taken him to 6 for the season. Currently the leading goal scorer in terms of league goals for Guiseley. Level on 5 with Anthony Dudley, which slightly tells its own story as to why Guiseley are in the position they are in this season so far. Wrexham looking to come forward. James, poor pass. Question for you, Dave. If you're Mark Bauer, with 19 plus added time to go, 3-1 up, what the hell do you do?
Well, you look at the bench that the Lions have got. They've got Craddock, Boschel and Smith still there, and Dan Atkinson as well. But
Can we bring on a second keeper?
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? But it would have the virtue of having never been tried. But I don't know. We spoke about Adam Smith before, but is he the man this game needs?
Fifield now lays the ball off to his left-hand side again. Newton to the left of the 18-yard box, blocked by Ryan Toulson. Back as far as Fifield though. Now Newton again on this left-hand side. Looks to play it round the back of Will Hatfield, and Wrexham keeping possession at the moment. Here's Jackson again. Right-footed cross into the box. Half cleared away by Ben Parker. Out as far as Fowler. Now Lawler. And Parker again will clear it away. Adam Boyce on this occasion couldn't hold it up.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And the cross comes in from Newton. Too much on that. Behind for a goal kick. But it was a good run forward from Anthony Dudley. And Boyce couldn't quite hold it up. If he could have done, he would have played in Dudley for sure.
He was under a real pressure there from Emmanuel Smith. And I think he was fouled, to be honest. And he certainly appealed to the referee. But he just couldn't quite hold on to it and allowed Wrexham to get that ball in. So Newton's cross was just a little bit too heavy for him there. But my goodness, how long's left? Is it nearly full time?
Julie Glossop's been in touch. She says, come on, you Lions. Thanks for getting in touch, Julie. On the clock is 73 minutes. As Wrexham come again down this left-hand side. Ryan Toulson wins a free kick from a foul from Wes York. And Guiseley being urged to keep calm and carry on, really, at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's probably about right. 18 minutes left.
I think we are going to see a substitution for Guiseley fairly soon.
He's got to use these subs because obviously with 20 minutes to go, legs are going to start to tire. Wrexham are a professional, a full-time club, and they'll have the legs for the full 90. So,
Guiseley look to get up towards the edge of the area. Free kick conceded by Will Hatfield. Little unfortunate, but probably the right decision from the referee, Michael Salisbury.
Yeah, not much in that.
Taken quickly, the ball with Manny Smith, played back to Lee Fowler. Now Fifield again. Now York. Spreads it across to that right hand side. I think it's going to be Tom Craddock. In fact, we may be seeing a double substitution by the looks of it. Tom Craddock and presumably, I think that's Nicky Boschel actually, rather than Adam Smith. Now Fifield, centre of the Guiseley half. Ball out to Newton, completely unmarked, puts it in at the near post, held by Stephen Drench, but nobody again picked up that run of Sean Newton. And we are going to get the change for Guiseley. So we're going to
Who do you bring off here?
Well, I think Adam Boyce is likely to be one of the two. We're not going to get the substitution just yet, but to be fair to Boyce, he has run.
Well, he's run himself into the ground today.
Absolutely. Ball played down that right hand side now by Wrexham. Here's Carrington. Cross comes in. Finds Gray. Gray turns, gets the shot off, deflected. Behind for a corner. They're appealing for a penalty. In fact, they're appealing for everything, but they're not getting it.
The linesman there gave a corner, and the referee's overruled him by the looks of things.
So the changes. Right. Tom Craddock coming on and replacing Oliver Norburn. So Norburn going off and replaced by Tom Craddock. So you would think Adam Boyce for Nicky Boschel, perhaps. Surely he's not going too up top at this stage.
Dudley?
It is Dudley. Nicky Boschel for Anthony Dudley. Adam Boyce will move out onto this right-hand side. Tom Craddock presumably will go up front through the middle.
Well, Norburn and Dudley have had decent games tonight. Norburn's had his... it's been his usual energy across that midfield, and Dudley's worked hard down the left-hand side for not a great deal of change out of the Wrexham defence. Most of our joy came in the first half round by Ollie Johnson, but he's never stopped running tonight, neither of them.
Adam Smith, I'm fairly sure, will be gutted, frankly, to not be coming on. Of course, the former Wrexham man who, to be completely honest with you, ran Danny Lowe absolutely ragged at the racecourse ground in the 3-3 draw earlier in the season. There's a slip from Rob Atkinson, allows Kane Jackson to get away. He's laid the ball into Wes York, who thankfully has fired straight at Stephen Drench. And Rob Atkinson goes over to Stephen Drench, gives him a pat on the back of the head, and thanks his lucky stars for saving him there.
Probably the
It
first.
was unfortunate. He slipped, and he thought about sticking an arm out to pull it back, but that would have been an inevitable red card.
Yeah. It's probably the first misfire from Rob Atkinson tonight. Just the ground gave way beneath him, and he just air shot at the
77
clearance.
gone. 14 plus added time to go. Nicky Boschel, great challenge,
Got
gets
the ball.
stuck in. He
He's
got all the ball
conceded a
there.
free kick, but he got the ball there.
I think there was a foul before that must have been given. Play quickly back underway by Wrexham as Jamal Fifield looks to get round Gavin Rothery. Does well, turns back in field though, onto his right foot. But now back to his left, goes for goal and puts it onto the railway track. Behind us, or behind the goal to our left-hand side.
Ooh, take a breath.
Just thinking for Tom Craddock, this is a good situation, and to be quite honest, a rare situation I think for Tom Craddock to be coming on in these circumstances.
It's true.
How
normally
often does he come on when we're trailing
or chasing a game
and there's pressure on him? But on this occasion,
what we need to see from Tom Craddock now in this last 15 minutes or
Grimsby
so
performance.
is a Grimsby performance. We need to see him causing those Wrexham defenders some trouble, really winding them up.
Ball over the top from Wrexham. Down this left-hand side to find Caden Jackson. Jackson does well, keeps it in play. It was Jackson, of course, who scored that stoppage time equaliser at the racecourse ground, and Jackson does very well. Goes for goal, not too far over the top. He eventually thought, to hell with it, have a go. He wasn't too far over, but the important thing is, Dave, it was over.
It was over, yeah. It was good defending actually there from Tully and boys.
It would have been a worldie had it gone in.
Who tried to sort of shepherd him out onto his right foot to try and force him into an early shot.
Now Drench sends it downfield. Now Craddock does well, gets the ball out to that left-hand side. Excuse me. I can't take the nerves, the tension is killing me, Dave. And now I've induced the hiccups. Here's Boschel, look to play it through into Boys. Boys, of course, looking for a hat-trick. Now Jackson for Wrexham as they quickly get down the other end. Here's York, bearing down on the 18-yard box. Plenty of white shirts ahead of him, though. Forced back now to Jennings. Jennings tried to get out to this left-hand side. And Danny Lowe just puts his foot through it and gets rid. Will Hatfield rather. Oh, nothing's given. As Gavin Rothery went down, Wrexham continue the pressure. Now from the right, looking to get the ball in towards Wes York. And it goes through to Stephen Drench. Updates on scores, Dave.
Still, Eastleigh 2, Barrow 1, Grimsby 0, Braintree 1 now. That's interesting if you're looking at the top six. Guiseley 3, Wrexham 1, obviously. Kidderminster still leading Halifax by a goal to 0, and Torquay still beating Altrincham by 2 goals to 0. Macclesfield still 0-0 with Dover. Both of those teams down to 10 men.
Now Fifield comes forward yet again. He's been allowed to do that far too much. But so far, it's been okay. It's worked out okay. Fifield again. Big tall unit gets a good left-footed cross into the 18-yard box, dealt with by Ben Parker. Now Will Hatfield finds Craddock. Craddock looks to get a touch and turn away, but he's just been bullied off the ball. And that gets a few of the guys he finds on his back. Now Craddock again. Plays the ball out to that left-hand side. Finds Rothery. Rothery up against Manny Smith. Turns back. Finds Danny Lowe now. Now Hatfield. Now Rothery. Can he try and find a way in towards the 18-yard box? Boschel takes over. Gives it back to Lowe. Guiseley passing the ball around. That's a really good ball into Boschel. Boschel to Craddock. Craddock, it's blocked off the line. He got it caught in his feet on the first occasion. And if ever there was another man that needed a goal, you really have to feel sorry for Tom Craddock. And from there, from literally 4 yards out,
the goal gaping. The goal gaping, and it just got caught under his feet. Oh, Tom, if it wasn't for bad luck, eh?
Well, to be fair, overall to Tom Craddock, I watched the highlights of that opening day performance at Welling, when from 20 yards out he rattled the crossbar, and I just thought, if only, because if that goes in on the opening day, Tom Craddock could potentially have been a very different striker with the pedigree he had as well. The point, by the way, was made to me earlier regarding Tom Craddock, as Wrexham have the ball on the halfway line though. This, of course, is Tom Craddock's first season of managing work life and playing. He's been a full-time professional at every stage of his career. And that change in lifestyle is bound to have an effect. Wrexham frustrated by the fact that the referee being very particular about where the free kick's being taken. Not once, but twice.
Yeah, Caden Jackson verbally expressing his discontent
Lee
at the
Fowler
referee there.
Will now take this free kick for Wrexham in towards the back post. Everybody appeals for everything, and the referee gives the goal kick. We are into the final 7.5 minutes plus added time here at Nethermore. Oh, poor Tom.
Well, look, hey, positives. He got himself into that position in the first place, which, you know, and it was a good move leading up to that. Guys, they are still looking good when they do get the ball. It's just that they're being closed down a lot quicker than they were, and Wrexham are still a very good side. But it's credit to Guiseley that they made that opportunity in the first place. Such a shame that the finish couldn't be applied.
Come on, Tom. Keep your head up, lad.
Head up, though, Tom, because you got there.
Now Hatfield.
Hatfield.
Play back to Toulson. Under pressure from Wes York. Under a lot of pressure from York. He's forced to play back to Drench. Clears it. First time. Craddock will go and give chase up against Smith. That's what we like to see, although unfortunately for Craddock, he's conceded a free kick. But I'm not going to knock him. He bust a gut to get there to try and challenge with Manny Smith, and that's what we want to see.
He's got a pace at Manny Smith, who went
he's
down,
a fair bit
he
bigger
went down
than
like
him.
a sack of spuds, and he's a fair bit bigger than Tom Craddock.
Play continues now. Free kick taken quickly. Fifield lifts it down this left-hand side. And a touch is missed by Ken Jackson out for a goal kick. Dave, what's going on elsewhere?
Everything's still as it was. Eastleigh 2, Barrow 1, Grimsby 0, Braintree 0. Look, let's just concentrate on the two games that matter. Kidderminster 1, Halifax 0. Ben Whitfield scoring for Kidderminster, former Guiseley man there. And Torquay 2, Altrincham 0 there. Believe, Lions fans.
Well, that's an unusually poor goal kick from Stephen Drench, which lands or hits the roof of the dugout, which Mark Bauer is propped up against. Wrexham in possession. Fifield again on his left-hand side. Tom Craddock can't keep up with him. Eventually Craddock can get back and look to challenge John Wes York. He was careful not to bring him down there though. Lee Fowler though goes for goal, takes the deflection, goes through to James Gray, who on the turn blasts it out. And again, behind for a goal kick.
I've got Tom Feeney next to me here, who's going through the mill here. Tom, just what's going on with you tonight?
Help me. Just blow the whistle, referee, please. Just have some justice, please. Just end this game. 3 points is all we want.
That sums it up, I think, doesn't it?
I think that's what we'd all say that, wouldn't we? That is literally all we want, all we need.
Goal kick then. Stephen Drench takes. Goes all the way over the top past Nicky Boschel. Deflected back in field though. Craddock challenges. Unfortunately, the ball breaks kindly to Nicky Boschel on left hand side. Really good challenge though from Manny Smith to put it out for a Guiseley throw. It's the one last draw of the dice in Guiseley's favour. Can we get a little bit of luck perhaps to make this all the more comfortable? Look. Frankly, we'd be quite happy to just sit here with what we've got. Now Lowe. Now Boschel. Now Rothery. Back to Lowe. Early cross. Goes through. Newton does well. Clears that away. Now James Gray. Look to find Wes York. Atkinson will just send this back forward. First time. Craddock will go up and challenge. The ball comes out all right, and here's Rothery into the 18-yard box, pulls it across. Oh. Tipped behind by Reece Taylor for a Guiseley corner. Good move from Guiseley as Wrexham had committed numbers forward. Gavin Rothery broke away down the left-hand side, forced the save out of the Wrexham stopper.
Guiseley just moving out of their own half here as Wrexham get a little bit disheartened, perhaps. Just creating a few more opportunities. Good work there from Tom Craddock and a 1-2 on the edge of the area, feeding Rothery. It's a good save by Rhys Taylor.
Corner, low one, poor one in the end. Connor Jennings will clear that away. Heavy touch from Caden Jackson, but it's still in Wrexham's possession. But I thought Will Hatfield has won a free kick against a Wrexham man who was challenging in the air. 3 minutes plus added time to go.
So we've had
three Wrexham
four subs in the second half. No, we had a sub at half time, 3 subs. So what? I mean, 3 minutes is about average, isn't it?
Yeah, we haven't had any stoppages, particularly for injuries or anything along those lines. So you would think, at the absolute most, 3 minutes.
I'm on the Guiseley Radio Twitter feed, and Phil Rogerson just followed us back. Phil, concentrate, man. This is important.
Now Rothery gets the ball low into the box. Here's Craddock. Craddock can't deliver it. Goal bound. Effort comes in from Adam Boyes. It was blocked. Both the efforts there from Craddock and Boyes were blocked by Wrexham. Wasn't much they could do more than that. As Fifield bombs forward, gets the ball from Gray, pulls the ball across. Cleared away by Jake Lawler. Out for a throw deep inside the Guiseley half. Less than 2 minutes of the 90 to go. Throw in now for Wrexham. Taken quickly. Put out of play by Boyes for another throw. A little bit further out this time. Throw in again taken pretty quickly. Here's Fifield. Looks to deliver this one. Right footed straight down the throat of Stephen Drench. And easy for him to deal with.
Yeah, guys, he did well. Got caught a little bit on the break there, but Ryan Toulson just bombed back and just kept pace with Jamal Fifield to just stop that cross from coming in, and eventually it was cleared.
Well, James Gray is going across that far side, unusually with an injury. He's taking the opportunity of going across to the far side to receive a little bit of treatment. Play back underway.
I think he was instructed to go over there. I wonder if it's a head injury or he's cut himself or something.
So, Stephen Drench with the ball in his hands. Sends it downfield. Adam Boyes does well. Challenging. Now Rothery looks to lift it over the top towards Boyes. It's just going to go out of play. Sadly, not that quick, especially after the shift he's put in tonight. Now Fifield. Craddock will try and give chase. Back to Taylor. Taylor finds Manny Smith. On the edge of the 18-yard box, though, for Wrexham, this is. Wrexham's 18-yard box. As the board is going to go shortly. Craddock does well for challenging there.
4 minutes.
And it's going to be 4 minutes.
Where has he found 4 minutes from? My goodness.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't buy that. 4 minutes? In
There
this
we
game,
go.
it's not stopped.
The 90 is up as we tick into that 4 minutes of added time.
Oh.
Now
Where's my
Smith.
pills?
Manny Smith. Now Fifield. Short one to Newton. Good running from Craddock, looking to try and follow. Fifield slips as he plays the ball forward. And Danny Lowe, anywhere will do. So he smashes it back downfield, all the way to Rhys Taylor. Just knocks that back out. Now Fowler. The referee almost getting in the way there. Shoved out the way by Rob Evans. Now Jennings to the left-hand side of the 18-yard box for Wrexham looking to attack. And the referee, well, for me, that hit Ryan Toulson on the chest. The Wrexham fans and players down there were appealing for a penalty. But it certainly, for me, seemed to be off Toulson's chest. Wrexham working the ball back to the edge of the 18-yard box, though. Now Carrington delivers the ball up towards Wes York, headed away and behind by a Guiseley man for a Wrexham corner.
All-out attack from the Dragons now.
Adam Boyes, unsurprisingly and very deservingly, gets the Man of the Match award for Guiseley. this corner is taken by Wrexham, a low one, a poor one, sent back out to the left-hand side. First time ball back in from Fowler. It's a high one, up into the air. And that's going to go all the way through. Brilliant goalkeeping from Stephen Drench to literally steal it off the toe of Wes York. 1,046 here at Nethermore tonight. A really good turnout by both the Guiseley fans and the travelling Wrexham fans as well. The ball back at the feet of Reece Taylor. Now make it just under 2 minutes of added time still to be played. The Lions, Guiseley leading by 3-1. And no doubt, if we can see this out, there is going to be an almighty cheer from the Lions faithful.
Well, I should think that the
it's a Guiseley.
Will be busy.
It's a Guiseley throw-in.
Just taking the time, and why not?
And Ryan Tilson is taking all the time in the world over this. If the referee's sensible, he will add it on, but we hope he isn't.
Yeah, I hope he's not paying that much attention, to be honest.
Throw-in taken by Tilson, flicked back by Sean Newton, back as far as Fowler. Early ball into the 18-yard box, which goes behind off a Guiseley man.
I don't believe
for
that.
A corner. A minute to go in extra time.
Come on,
one of the omens that you found earlier. We've never been beaten with Michael Salisbury as referee. And that looks unlikely to change now as it's headed away from the corner by Guiseley. Now Wes York sprays it across to the right-hand side again. Carrington, left-footed ball up towards that back post. Too much on it and behind for a goal kick. 30 seconds of added time to go.
Kidderminster still leading Halifax into stoppage time there by a 0-0. A Ben Whitfield 0-0. Torquay leading Altrincham by 2-0. Eastleigh have just extended their lead 3-1 over Barrow.
So, goal kick for Stephen Drench. That's taken 25 seconds, by the way, to get the ball back to Stephen Drench as he sends it downfield. The ball goes out of play for a throw. I was about ready to cheer there.
Yeah, I think half of Nethermore just... Is it? Oh.
Throwing now. Taken quickly by Wrexham. And there we go.
Get in.
Michael Salisbury blows the full-time whistle here at Nethermore Park. It's been a terrific result for Guiseley. The best 45 minutes of the season in that first half. And Guiseley and Mark Bauer can be very, very proud of that display. The first league win in 11 games for Guiseley, and how crucial could that be in their fight to stave off relegation. Goals from Ollie Johnson and 2 from Adam Boyes in the first half had the Lions comfortable at half-time. The second half was always going to be an onslaught from the visitors. They did get one back through Sean Newton. But full-time here at Nethermore Park. Guiseley 3, Wrexham 1.
Get in. Come on, Chris. How good does that feel to say? Guiseley win. It's our first win at Nethermore in this calendar year. It's our first win in 11 games. Feels like an awful long time ago since we last won a football match, and it did it in the grand manner as well. What a fantastic first half an hour. What a performance from Adam Boyes. Well deserved man of the match from him, and a vital 3 points in the battle for survival here.
What more? I think we can claim that as the first win against a big club.
I think we can class that as exactly that. Finally, we've turned over one of these after those great performances against Grimsby and Tranmere. We'll remember those, but we'll remember this night. We'll remember whatever happens in these next 3 games. We will always remember the night Wrexham came to town and we beat them by 3-0. And I'll go further a bit.
1.
All right. 3 goals to 1. But I'd go further than what you said before. Not only was it the best 45 minutes we've seen Guiseley play this season, I think this is the best 90 minutes we've seen Guiseley play this season, because very much a game of two halves as well, because we took advantage of those opportunities we had in that first half. We stayed solid in the second half under extreme pressure from the Wrexham attack. And we never, apart from the one time that was just a scramble goal from a corner, we never looked like losing that win. We stayed strong. We stayed concentrated. We stayed disciplined. We didn't, that probably is the most complete performance from the Lions this season.
Absolutely.
Chris, thank you very much for tonight. We're going to go through the results. Elsewhere, Eastleigh have beaten Barrow by 3-0. Braintree lead Grimsby in injury time, and Macclesfield and Dover are both down to 10 men, but neither have managed to break the deadlock there. It has finished just 0-0. Now, these are the two other important results, and I can tell you now, they've gone for us. It's Kidderminster 1, Halifax 0. Ben Whitfield scoring an absolute belter. I don't even know what sort of goal it was, but I'm assuming it's a belter in my head. It's a 30-yarder straight into the top corner. Torquay have beaten Altrincham by 2-0, and now, Chris, at full time, we can have a look at those final standings, and I can tell you now, it looks a lot healthier from the Lions' point of view. Welling on 43 points and 35. Kidderminster off the bottom on 43 points and 35. Altrincham 43 played, 41 points. Boreham Wood 43 played and 41 points. Halifax, they've still got that game in hand, but it's away at Eastleigh. That's a tough ask for them. They've got 42 and 43 points. 19th place Chester on 43 and 45. Guiseley up to 18th place. They've played 43. They've got 46 points. With 3 games to go, we're 5 points clear of the relegation. We're not there yet. We've got 3 absolutely vital games now against Macclesfield, Boreham Wood and Torquay. But as I said last Saturday, we've got the best record of the bottom 6 against the other bottom 6. So we've got every reason to be hopeful tonight. Torquay's victory tonight takes them to 43 and 47 in 17th place. Southport 43 and 51. They're probably clear and safe. The Lions fans cheering the Guiseley team off the pitch as they do their warm down. Nobody really wants to go to the bar just yet, although I'm sure they will hit that bar with an absolute vengeance later on tonight.
Absolutely. There is some celebrating to be done tonight, but as you say, we need to concentrate and go again on Saturday. A tough trip away at Macclesfield Town.
Very tough, very tough. Macclesfield are a decent side. They're going to be without a player after tonight's results, so maybe that might work in our favour. But I tell you what, we play like that for 3 more games, we'll be all right. Surely.
It's easy as that, is it, Dave?
It's as easy
play like that,
as
we'll be all right.
That.
That's the hard part, maintaining the form we've shown tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your contributions tonight, Chris. Thanks very much.
Thanks for getting in touch.
For joining us. Thanks for getting in touch. You can get in touch with us during the week. Build up to the Macclesfield game. We'll be there on Saturday. But just drink this in. It has finished. Guiseley 3, Wrexham 1. The Lions maul the Dragons. Now let's go and have a pint.
Good night.
Good night.